applauding what he calls the indispensable relationship between France and Britain.
This was the first time in history a British monarch has addressed members of the two houses of the French Parliament assembled in the Senate chamber. The King used the occasion to plead for a renewal of the alliance between the two countries, which he said was more important than ever in view of the threat to European security in Ukraine and because of what he called the most existential challenge of all, that of global warming and the catastrophic destruction of nature. Let us renew the Entente Cordiale, he said, and make it an entente for sustainability.
The BBC's Hugh Schofield in Paris. The Bank of England has paused nearly 2 years of interest rate increases after a surprising fall in UK inflation eased concerns about the pace of price rises. The central bank keeping its main interest rate unchanged, 15-year high of 5.25%. News and analysis at townhall.com. The Food and Drug Administration demands additional research before deciding the fate of something that's designed to treat serious allergies.
4 months ago, an FDA advisory committee recommended approval of a nasal spray device from ARS Pharmaceuticals dubbed Neffy. Now, the agency wants another study on repeat doses of epinephrine, a drug that halts potentially life-threatening reactions using the device compared with injections. If approved, Neffy would be the first alternative to injections using devices like EpiPen, altering treatment for as many as 45 million Americans. Advocates for people with allergies say they were frustrated by the FDA's request for more research. Ed Donahue, Washington.
A coalition of 25 governors and the Biden administration set to announce a pledge to quadruple the number of heat pumps in America's homes by the year 2030, an announcement expected later today. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy rainy Thursday morning?
Yeah, buddy.
That was different.
Falling sky water in the AM? What?
No, I don't know if it's still raining, but it was about 40 minutes ago when I was.
And it was
coming
just
in here.
starting too when I got out this morning because the ground was still dry.
Yeah,
Like my front porch was still dry.
I rolled out the house about 6:20, and it was, the ground was full on wet at that point. But I remember hearing, because I got up several, I think it was around 2 something to get up. And I'm pretty sure I heard the pitty patter.
Yeah.
On the roof there. So I think we got steady rain throughout the evening.
Yeah,
at least
maybe.
parts of town did. I don't know if all parts did, but
Maybe it rained a little bit last night and dried out and then rained again.
yeah, waves.
Yeah.
Waves and stuff. But yeah, it was nice. I was like, hey, this is different. We don't wake up to like actual rain, and I was like I got here and I was like, I wonder if I should have like procured some kind of rain protection. I lost my umbrella. I don't know what happened to that thing, and I just haven't had.
I've lost like 7 umbrellas over the course of the last 3 years. Of course, no self-respecting New Mexican should own an umbrella. Because when does this come up?
Well, this was it. I bought one years ago, and then I used it a couple years ago once,
Right.
And then I left it and set someplace, and I just never replaced it. So I just I'm not gonna. Well, remember, was it 2 weeks ago or a week ago when we got the rain stuff? I remember being in Walgreens like the weekend after, and I walk right in, and of course, right there is a big display of umbrellas.
It rained once here. Be prepared for next year.
And I'm like, should I? I almost did. I said, nah, it won't rain again for another year. And then here we sit this morning. I'm like, I should have got one.
Maybe it's because of where I live and have lived for most of my life in not really super rainy areas, but that always seemed like the least useful feature on the Rolls Royce was that it comes with a pop-out umbrella in the door.
Well, if you're in England, it's very useful.
Yeah, if you're in England. Just doesn't really come up in Roswell, New Mexico.
The umbrella's on the wrong side.
You don't really see a lot of Rolls Royces rolling up in Roswell, though.
What do you mean? I saw 12 the other day.
Oh, well, we were at the Rolls Royce store then. Now we're at the Rolls Royce dealership.
Yeah. Well, doesn't the other door have a Grey Poupon dispenser on the other side?
Something like that, yeah.
Umbrella one side, Grey Poupon on the other.
That's right.
But
pretension right down the
middle. Never mind. I was going to say something else, but that's a low blow. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope all of you had. I was going to make a joke about dentist or something. You know how British and you don't find their toothpaste.
Lack of dental care right here.
I kid, of course. But happy Wednesday. Hope it was kind of nice. Different change of pace. Oh, Thursday, I'm sorry. Nice change of pace with the rain out here. So we got football tonight.
Yes.
It's we'll say 2 nights in a row of high school football.
It is.
Got it Rockets tonight. Travel to Gadsden to take on the Panthers.
To Anthony.
Yes. We will have that game for you on our sister station, 106.1 FM Fiero, and video at ksvptv.com.
So funny when I'm making these promos, you get to hear different sounds of jungle cats. Like the Panthers more of a versus like a Wildcats.
Well, I always think the Panther one's more of cougar-like. I always hear that one. Although...
So cougar would be more of the...
Maybe? I don't know.
Because when I looked at Panther, what I got was the...
Oh, yeah. Well, we all know the official sound thanks to Anchorman.
Yeah.
Sex Panther.
Yeah.
But I always hear cougars that kind of sound, at least... I don't know about real cougars.
Not the cougars I've been hanging out with.
Not real cougars. Well,
they make different sounds entirely.
My high school mascot was a cougar. So I heard that, and it sounded kind of like the Panther one. But then again, it was a different time.
I'm just picturing your high school mascot just being just a middle-aged woman just on the prowl.
Well, I think back then that wasn't a term that they referred to.
No, of course not.
Cougar was not in the lexicon yet. I don't think. I think that showed up a little after my time in high school. But to my knowledge, they're still the Cougars.
I want to say like the 90s is when Cougars sort of like became a thing.
And I graduated in 91.
Look at you. Ahead of the curve.
Full of laughter, full of fun. We're the class of 91. Woo!
We were second to none, class of 2002.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure every class that ends in 1 has full of laughter, full of fun, or full of something, or the something of 1.
Head of the class, don't bring your gun. We're the class of 91.
See, we did this thing where we had our own song. Well, happy Thursday, and we could get a little more rain. There's like a 20% for this afternoon. I don't know how long this is going to be lingering around for, but I was watching, I saw a little bit of radar on the news before coming in.
From MASH?
Yes.
It's a rare sighting.
And he, grape knee high was half full, which means 1 more hour of rain.
There you go.
It's like the groundhog. If it's fully full, then there's like another 2 hours of rain. But the grape knee eye was half full, so only like another hour. So
I looked at the weather rock before I left and said, still wet.
No, but the radar looked like it was like we were in the middle, and it'd probably move out to the area here mid-morning or some point. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But the grape knee high thing was true, too.
Enjoy while it lasts.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can still get that knee high. Grape knee high.
I bet you can in certain circles of the country. Mm-hmm. Like, where is it? I got to go look it up. Like, where does it originate? Because, like, I've never seen it out west.
I feel like knee high is an East Coast.
Yeah, I always see it. I used to see it back east all the time.
Well, because we had it in Oklahoma. We also had one called Mellow Moon, which was it was a peach flavor. I love that one.
We had cherry wine. That was the other one.
Cheer wine.
Cheer wine.
We actually got this discussion.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
Knee high origin.
I always called it cherry wine because it's cherry. And I was
originated in the United States. Thanks. Let's see. Began bottling the root beer in 1905. Didn't say. Oh, 1905 though. Wow.
Five. Yeah.
'05. Let's see. Where did it originate? Well, it's the Royal Crown Company.
Ooh, RC Cola. Well, that's part of the problem. You don't hardly see RC Colas anymore. I loved RC back in the day. It was a staple. So, while he's looking that up,
you give us
I'm going to give you the rundown here for today's show. We're going to replay an interview this hour. On Tuesday, we had Tamara Schubert with the Chaves County Extension Office join us. So we talked a little bit about the fair, which is just around the corner, about a week, almost a full week away. Yeah, about next Friday.
Which reminds me, we need to sit down and figure out our war strategy.
Yeah, Sneak Peek Carnival will start next Friday, so all that. But anyway, Tamara joined us to talk a little bit about fair, talk about kitchen creations and holidays, all the things they've got coming up here in the fall. In the 8 o'clock hour at 8:15, Juanita Jennings, Public Affairs Director for the City of Roswell, join us, give us an update on things happening in and around the city. And in the 9 o'clock hour, it is our third Thursday of the month, which means we'll have folks from the District Attorney's Office join us and talk a little bit about, how the sausage is made a little bit in the DA's office. Always have great conversations.
I love District Attorney sausage. It's got that real nice pop,
Way better than IKEA meatballs.
When you bite into it.
That's right. Or Volkswagen.
Sausage. Also sausage,
Is it also sausage? I can't remember what they're making.
It's currywurst.
Ah.
It's their specific blend that I guess their factory workers have taken to.
It is difficult to eat things called wurst. I mean, they're good, the ones I've had. But
bratwurst I'm good with. I'm not sure how I feel about knockwurst because that sounds like
it's not bad.
Even worst.
I've had knockwurst.
What's the best wurst?
Knockwurst is more hot dog like. Knockwurst is more hot dog like, but kind of fatter. So if you like hot dogs, you're probably going to be more into knockwurst than bratwurst. Bratwurst is more of the spices and things.
This is where I get weird. I prefer a liverwurst to a bratwurst. I kind of like something that's more spreadable.
Yeah, well, a liverwurst is that's not even the same world as a bratwurst or a knockwurst.
But in my opinion, that's the best wurst.
Well, unless you're actually wanting like a sausage-like thing, then it's the worst.
Yeah, if you want a casing, if you're trying to catch a case.
All right, it is 7:15. I've worsted out all of my.
That was the worst break of the morning.
Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have stationary front nearby and just enough moist air for some showers and thunderstorms. This afternoon we'll be in the low 90s on the high. Maybe a few lingering showers overnight. They'll taper off before midnight, mid 60s on the low, and then we heat up for the upcoming weekend. Upper 90s for the afternoon high on Friday and Saturday. Sunshine both days, low 90s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 68 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 73%. Winds out of the west at 6 miles per hour. There is a 20% chance for some more rain this afternoon. Mostly sunny and a high of 92 today. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 67 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For you Friday, sunny, hot, high of 97. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 65 degrees. West winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. For your weekend on Saturday, sunny, highs near 97 on Saturday, so warming up. Winds out of the northwest 5 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy Saturday night with an overnight low of 64 degrees. Sunny and 94 for Sunday. Sunday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 63. And then we drop back down to upper 80s for Monday. Looking at a slight chance of rain on Tuesday. 20%, we'll see. But it is looking like a little more summer-like for your first official fall weekend. It's going to warm up a little bit. All right, it is 7:17. We're going to take a 4-minute break, and then on the other side, we're going to play our interview with Tamara Schubert from the Chaves County Extension Office. That's on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
A comedian Simeon once said, "No one can tell me anything, not even myself." Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, most people stop listening and start forming an answer or response when someone's talking to them within 7 seconds, so they miss most of the information.
John 10:27 says, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me."
You know, when Julie and I were preparing for this, she looked right at me after I spoke for a while and said, "What?" I guess we all have work to do in listening. But you know what? Just like learning to know God takes time and focus and to know His voice, it's going to take time and focus to really get to know our spouse and to really start enjoying and loving marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Hey neighbors, there's a new source for all your appliance needs in the area. We're Roswell Appliance Outlet. We sell new minor scratch and dent appliances and we'll help you save 40 to 60% off of MSRP. All come with warranty and personalized service. We also offer parts and service for your existing household appliances. We offer financing and delivery options as well. Don't make that big box store mistake. Come see us at Roswell Appliance Outlet today at 600 South Main in Roswell or call 575-363-9236.
This may be the biggest sales event of the whole year. The greatest sell-off is on at Roswell Honda, and that means the race is on to save big. Like a 2019 Ford Fiesta for just $329 a month, or a 2011 Toyota Highlander for just $289 a month. Plus, push, pull, or drag in your trade, and it's worth at least $2,000 towards your next vehicle. Then join Roswell Honda September 23rd from 10 to 1 for free lunch and great prizes, including your chance to win an Xbox Series X Forza Horizon bundle. The greatest sell-off on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Most of the problems that people have with plants comes down to basic farm management. That means knowing what to plant and when to plant it. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Planting at the wrong time usually leads to disappointment and heartache, sort of like your first love. But planting at the right moment puts Mother Nature on your side, and that makes growing things easier and a whole lot more fun. So before you plant anything, come to see us at Roswell Seed, or just give it a try and hope for the best. It gives me a chance to say, I told you so.
Locally owned will get you in gear. That's because you've known us for years at Big O. Big O Tires.
The big deal event is here. From now until October 1st, get $50 to $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Nexen or National tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra. Required on all 4 tires. Not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Excludes National Road Max ST tires. Disposal fees extra and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for details.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Introducing the New Mexico Army National Guard. Serve your community with pride and become a part-time hero. Join our dedicated team and enjoy the adventure of a lifetime. Get full-time benefits without sacrificing your current career or education. When disaster strikes and your community needs assistance, you'll be there to lend a helping hand. So don't miss out on the opportunity to receive education, adventure, and financial stability, all while serving your country. Get started by calling 1-800-GO-GUARD.
Mulan has the highest kill count of any Disney character. When asked for comment, Buzz Lightyear responded, "To infinity and beyond." Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 15 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning from the Chaves County Extension Office, Tamara Schubert, back with us, freshly in from fair.
Freshly in, that is correct. Fair wrapped up yesterday, so on to the next one.
On to the next fair.
Yes.
So how was the state fair?
It was really good. So we had 43 youth competing on the indoor exhibits with over 300 exhibits, so they did great.
So 43 youth from Chaves County.
Uh-huh.
Very cool. And competing in all the different categories, some livestock, some your home ec and foods and those other things too. So imagine a few blue ribbons and what have you.
Oh, lots of blue ribbons.
Good. Love to see that. So did any of them any of our local folks auction up there? Or are they going to save them for?
So we had a couple show livestock. I have not got the results from them yet on how that went.
Okay.
I was doing a lot of other things at fair, so I had not made it over there yet. But we do have quite a few coming in for Eastern Fair as well.
Good deal. Now I got to ask, do you make a point to hit like the food side and because I imagine the state fair has a few more food creations than
they
you'll find
do
here.
And I did not make it over there this year, but I did get to go to the state 4-H food challenge.
Yeah,
so we had 13 teams competing in the food challenge this year, and so they're given a pantry just like you see on any food cooking show. They're given a pantry,
like
they're
Bobby
given
Flay and those guys and all
mystery
that.
ingredients, and they have to come up with a dish within 40 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah, they have to analyze the cost of it, the nutrition value of it, and then they have to be able to present it to judges.
So it's way more nuts and bolts than like Beat Bobby
Yes,
Flay.
yes.
It's more like Beat Bobby Flay, like real people stuff. With budgets and what have you. It's like they ain't gonna hit you with like today's mystery ingredient is frog raw. You're like, whoa, not my world.
No, I was pretty tame on them.
But it's Bobby Flay on a budget, which I love. That's cool. Well, and let's face it, those are the skills that you need to have when you're when it comes to planning the family meal and the budgets and all of that. We always think about what do you there is a little bit more to what do you want for dinner, that question.
Well, and there is. So for the contest, the kids don't know what's in the pantry necessarily, and they don't know what their mystery ingredient is until they get to the table to cook. And they've got 40 minutes to figure out what they're going to cook, analyze the cost of it, the nutrition value of it, and be ready to present to judges. So that's a mad skill right there.
It is. There's, this is the skill set that I'm imagining these are going to be folks that someday are owning restaurants and things like that, let alone being chefs, but being, restaurant owners and operators and things like that. So you got to know more than how to make a good steak or a good meal. You got to know how to budget for it, plan for it, and do all the other stuff.
Yes.
Too. So I love that they're learning all that skill. What's the average age on those youth?
So it's open to all of our 4-H kids, and so our youngest kids competing were 9 years old this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So imagine, do they all do the same meal or same ingredients, or does it like the 9-year-olds get the...
it's different. So our novices this year, their mystery ingredient was avocado.
Okay.
So they had to come up with a dish featuring avocado.
All right.
So our middle ones, they had sweet peppers.
Okay.
And for our older ones, they had a pork loin they had to work with.
So they're probably doing smoking and grilling and that kind of stuff. And the younger, they're making avocado toast or guacamole or something.
They did. Some of them came up with some really great sandwiches and all kinds of,
Yeah. You want to, because I'm one of those people like, well, what do you do with avocado? I make guac out of it. I can, put it on toast or something, and that's bad. Throw it in a salad. Now you're probably like, oh, dang, I would have never thought to do that with avocado. Right. So I love that they got to do that kind of stuff. So, well, good deal. Is that something that they incorporate in our fair too? Is some of the cook-off kind of things?
So not that I know of, not here yet. It's something that's been going on at State Fair for a little bit, and so we're building it back up after COVID. But
I love that idea. I hope we can work it. I know that probably takes some logistics because you need kitchens and all kinds of stuff, and maybe we don't have those kind of facilities here yet. So it might can we do a campfire version, like cowboy version? Like do it over an open flame. I think that'd be kind of cool. So many beans. But that would be cool. So maybe we can make that. Hey, let's see if we can get the supporters of the fair and all that. We got maybe the next new building is one with little kitchens that can do. We can do something like this, little competitions and things. So, but in the meantime, so sounds like a successful fair for Travis County and those that came and participated.
Yes, very much so.
Was the rain okay? I know
we had a couple of days of rain, but it really wasn't all that bad.
Every time I turn on the news, it seemed like the fair was getting rained out with all the rain they're talking about. Like, one week we get rain, it's fair week, So, so now do you turn your attention to the Eastern New Mexico State Fair? I know there's other things going on besides that, but
we do. So next week, entries start rolling in for Eastern New Mexico State Fair, and then the first week of October, we've hit the livestock shows and everything.
Yeah, it's going to be now. And I'm telling everybody, October 2nd through the 7th, I think, is officially what this year's Fair 101.
It's going to be fun.
There you go. The 101st Eastern New Mexico State Fair. And I say this every year, and I'm going to say it again this year. When you're done walking around the commercial building and riding the rides and get whatever meat on a stick at the food places, go into the education building. Go into the livestock show ring. Hang out in there. Watch a few lives. Even if you've never seen a live, then please go into the live.
Yes.
It's so fun to watch these kids do their thing. It doesn't matter if it's chickens, pigs, cows, or whatever they're showing. It's always fun to watch. And then walk into that education building. Plan an hour at least, because there's going to be, I mean, you got lots of stuff. You want to see big pumpkins, and you want to see all the cool different nonprofits that have different stuff in there. So you can spend an hour looking at all that. But then go check out the crafts and art and all the work that some are kids, some are adults. You might have trouble telling which is which. I'm telling you, they're, especially some of the paintings, you're like, that's amazing. And then you look and it's a 9-year-old that did it. And you're like, whoa. And so, and just come and see all the talent that Southeast New Mexico has to offer at the fair, and support these kids. You know, that's the way to do is come and, you know, these kids, when they go to the livestock shows, you know, for some of these kids, that's going to be their college money or seeding their next project. So support when the livestock auction happens there. I think it's on that Friday usually.
Saturday
morning on that. Yeah, that's right. The other Chavis County Fair is Friday. This one's on Saturday. Support it. Come out there and you know, get your friends together. And I know we can't all shell out the big money that comes out for some of those, but get your friends together, chip in $50 or whatever.
But you know, add-ons are a great way to support our kids. For Eastern Fair, this is typically the last fair for a lot of our kids for the season. They've had these animals all year long.
Kind of the grand finale of the
They've been
fairs.
working on them hard. Those that get the privilege of selling through that auction, it's an accumulation of a lot of hard work. So come out and support the kids. Like you said, you don't have to have a big checkbook to do it. They take add-ons, $5-10. Those really add up for kids, especially when it talks to restocking for next year, buying feed supplies, supporting college endeavors, things like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is it's really the best way to show these kids the fruits of their labors. This is because let's face it, these kids that are shown, these are going to be the next business leaders, farmers, ranchers, you know, mayors, city councilors. These are going to be those people. County commissioners, these are going to be those people, and so we need to raise them up right and show them how things are done here, and believe it or not, the fair. And it doesn't matter if it's a Chavis County Fair, State Fair, Eastern Mexico State. The fair is where they learn this kind of stuff.
They do.
Yeah, this is really.
So while they're out at the fair, they can also go visit the 4-H kids over in the ice cream parlor. So our 4-H youth run the ice cream parlor on their own. So it's all about making.
You got two hands, one cone in each.
Cones, milkshakes. Come on. The kids learn a lot about financial responsibility as well as customer service and everything else.
That is by far my most favorite building. I say it every year because usually our little radio is like right there near the ice cream.
Yes.
And so every time I stagger out of that thing right over there, milkshake. Yep.
As soon as those doors roll up, come on.
I love that place. I spend more money on that place that week, all because I love that place. That's one of my favorite spots. And usually if you play your cards right, you walk in there and then you walk right into where the little shop is on the end of the commercial building. And then you find all your green chili seasonings and all that stuff.
The New Mexico, the Taste of New Mexico shop is right there.
Yep. So that's usually my move. I stagger into ice cream and then I meander around there and buy some rub or something and then go back out. But that's October 2nd through the 7th. Hey, by the way, for all you carnival folks and all that, they're going to do the sneak peek Friday and Saturday of the carnival again. The Bennett's Amusement. They're going to be out there doing Friday and Saturday. They're going to close Sunday and then open up Monday as the fair opens there as well too. So they're going to have all the rides and everything this year too. So come out for the rides, and then when you're done riding or before you go riding, go hit the education building. Go walk into the livestock ring. Go see these cool projects and see exactly what our youth have been doing.
Well, and as they visit the educational building, like you said, there's lots of community booths with services for their families and things like that they can take advantage of.
Absolutely.
The other thing they can find in there is our Extension Club volunteers. And so they're in there, they're talking to everybody about Extension Clubs, they're passing out free materials and things from our office, but that is the place that you can also buy your Christmas Showcase tickets.
Which is coming up in November.
Yes. So November the 14th is our annual Christmas Showcase. There's 2 viewings, and those tickets are on sale now. It's $5. You get to come taste all the goodies.
Yeah,
get some door prizes.
It's a tradition for many, and basically, what it is like you said, it's exactly the same. There's around a lunchtime one, and then there's one in the evening there. It's the exact same presentation, so you don't have to go to both. But with it, you get to come and try different foods, like Christmas holiday type foods to create during the holidays, gifting, arts and crafts stuff, decor, decorations. You get to learn all that. And then the golden ticket part is at the end of the thing, you get this book that's got all the recipes and all the how-tos on everything you learn there. And each year, the book is different.
It's kind of like a live Pinterest.
Yes, exactly.
We'll tell you the boo-boos that we made along the way and what we found out. But yes.
And so that book is kind of so people come every year for the book. And so each year now, and I'm guessing there's probably quite a few people in the area that have 10, 15, 20 of these over the years. And so now they're collecting. Now, if you haven't started yet, make 2023 the start of your tradition and come on out. Who knows? Maybe there's some people we can rub elbows with to procure some older ones if we need to.
We do. We have a lot in the office.
We can maybe make that happen. But come on out. It's a lot of fun. You get to eat, you get to sample, and you get to try. And then you get a book full of ideas that you can take home and use with your family.
Well, and bring a friend. Make it an evening.
Yeah. And like you said, you can come like if you're retired or you work nights, come on at lunch. But if you work the 9 to 5, then when you get off work, you can come on bound at 6 o'clock and enjoy it then, and have a little noshing before dinner, and then go get your books and all that. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But mark it on your calendars. That's November 14th. So it's right there, a couple weeks before Thanksgiving holiday, getting you geared up for Christmas. But if while you're at the fair and you're in the educational building and you visit the Extension Club table there, you can you sign up for that. Also, can they also sign up for because I know in October you also do your diabetes kitchen creations.
We do.
Stuff.
So we typically do kitchen creations twice a year. So our October class, and I looked the other day, is completely full. I've got 30 people in there, and that's about the max of what I can
It is
fit
a very
in
popular class. So.
Yes. So we do have another one scheduled in March, and you can sign up for that one now.
Okay.
We're going to do that one during the day starting at 9. So if you're retired or don't work during the day, this is a great option to grab that information as well.
And there's a reason why this is very popular, because it really gives folks ideas. 'Cause let's face it, diabetes that number's not going down. More and more people are getting diagnosed with that
going
every
up.
day. Yeah. And so this class really gives people options to enjoy foods they love. You love pizza, you love all those things. I get you. This shows you ways to create that without blowing up your numbers and your glucose and your blood sugars and all that kind of stuff. It stabilizes that. So, and finding alternatives for the things you love. Because if you try to deny, we all know that
it doesn't work for long.
So you can find alternatives, ways to do it in moderation. You love pizza, great. The cauliflower crust is your friend. It can really,
yes.
And especially for me, because I've been eating more of those. Because if you love the thin crust pizza, which I kind of do, you can't tell the difference. I legit, I'm just tastes like a thin crust pizza to me. I mean, if you're wanting to get all foldy New Yorkie and all, then we got to talk. But,
yes.
But you just want some pizza and load it up with your toppings, and you can pick the right vegetables.
And lots of vegetables.
Yeah.
Yes.
And meats
key on that one.
because meats aren't bad for carbs and things. You might want to worry about the cholesterol side there, but so you just can't load it up with bacon and beef and say, I'm on a diet. I love that move, but you can't do that either. But that's why this class is so popular.
Yes.
So, now, if you, like I said, you got it in March here. But in the meantime, if you're looking for ideas, don't hesitate to come by the Extension office.
Absolutely.
Tamara and her staff, everybody there, will be happy to give you information, give you resources, and of course, sign you up for the March class. And then that way you can maybe pick up on some of these, and then maybe add to your repertoire by the time March hits. You'll already have a base of good meals and things that you kind of have in your stable that works for you. So.
Right. And if they're out there thinking, well, I'm not, full-blown diabetic, but I do have pre-diabetes, we do have a program for that one too. So we start a year-long program in January for those that may be pre-diabetic.
Yes.
And so it's a year-long. So the first, 3, 4, or 5 months, we meet every week, and then we kind of wean off after there so that by the end of the year, you're going strong and hopefully can prevent that diagnosis.
Well, and the whole point of this class is to kind of teach you a new lifestyle. Yes. As far as is you're pre-diabetic, but in just general, you that are know they've talked to the doctor. It's like if you continue your habits now, you will be diabetes within X amount of time.
Right.
And so you got time to reverse it before you get on the meds, before you get diagnosed with diabetes. And so you can, in theory, again, it's kind of taking these classes, learning how to eat.
Well, there's so many things that go into it,
sure.
Other than just what we eat, exercise, our stress levels, how much we sleep.
And there's support in this, which is because it's very much a group effort. So you're in the class with other people that are going through the same thing that you are, and so that's a support system. You lean on each other, you hold each other accountable, you help each other. And so it's so much easier when you're doing a lifestyle change and there's a group of other people doing the lifestyle change with you. Particularly, maybe if you're at home and maybe your spouse is still eating cheeseburgers and everything, and you're like, and you really need some support on that. So this could be that thing you need to make sure you succeed at doing this.
Absolutely.
And not going diabetic. So please, if you've been diagnosed with that, please reach out. We can maybe get you in the next class when it starts here in January, which, by the way, is
right around the corner.
October's in a couple weeks.
It sounds weird to be talking January already, but that is where we are.
It's summer, right? No, it's 2 weeks into 2 weeks left in September. So.
Yes.
And so please, and anything else regarding any health, nutrition, this kind of stuff. Certainly, if you have questions about 4-H, come by the education building and talk in there, or certainly come by the extension office anytime here. But when you're out at the fair, don't hesitate. Talk to the families. Talk to the kids. Ask them what they their feelings about 4-H. They'll tell you about how much they love it and how much is a part of their life. And don't forget, 4-H ain't all about the cows and the pigs and everything too. It's also about computers and
robotics
and high tech stuff. And all of that too. Shooting sports, shotguns, rifles, pistol, all of that is under the 4-H umbrella. So even if you're like, I don't like cows, okay. You like computers? You like shooting sports, hunting, that kind of stuff. You love to arts and crafts. You love to create. You love to make things with your hands. And guess what?
This is the place for you.
4-H is going to have something for you.
And enrollment opens in October for 4-H. So this is a great time to come out. 4-H Day at the library has changed just a little bit. So we're offering 2 different ones now.
Oh, great.
So the one in Roswell will be the second Wednesdays of the month. And then we're also offering one in the Valley. So Hagerman area will be the third Wednesday of the month. So if they're interested, come on out.
You can sleep in on those days and just do the one in town there. So you don't have to get up early to get on into town here in Roswell to do it.
Yeah.
So, of course, you may be excused to hit your favorite restaurant. So do hit both. It's like, well, that's the reason we go get there for breakfast. But so you'll be doing that on the Wednesday.
So 4-H Day on the library will be Wednesdays after school when the kids get out. Yeah.
Good deal.
So,
and remind folks, what's kind of the age that's geared for, and what kind of some of the things you do in that?
So 4-H, especially 4-H Day at the library and 4-H in general, is open for kids ages 5 to 18.
Gotcha.
So what we do at 4-H Day at the library is we try to expose them to some of the projects that we have within 4-H.
Gotcha.
And so 4-H in New Mexico is one of our more traditional programs. We have about 250 projects that the kids can take part in about 12 different categories, whether it be creative arts or horticulture, economy, or family consumer science, finance management, things like that. So there's something for everybody, and they can progress through different levels depending on what they're interested in.
Good deal. So if you have kids that are 6 years old, bring them on down.
Yes.
If you have kids that are 13, 14, 15, 16, 18.
Come see us.
Come bring 18 is kind of the bubble, but 16, 17, come on down. But definitely something and that's just it. So don't, when the kids say, hey, come on to go over the 4-H, you're pretty much every kid unless they're a baby or an adult, they're going to find something through 4-H. So that's the cool part. And I guarantee they're going to make friends and broaden their horizons, and some of the ancillary parts of 4-H will rub off on them, working as a team, a lot of those skills that you want to teach your kids.
Citizenship, leadership, yes.
Things you want to teach your kids. It's really hard to teach unless you kind of immerse them in those scenarios, things like that. You kind of let them let them get their feet wet, and let them, go about it and learn the lessons that way sometimes. So, and 4-H provides all of that for them. and they have a bunch of fun. And
environment with very caring adults.
Yeah, and whatever their interest is, I know we'll have the shooting sports kids on at least a couple times a year. Every year they're going representing New Mexico nationally,
Yes. Yep.
state, obviously this region from the state, having a ton of fun doing their thing. And to me, that's like every time I have those kids, it's kind of like having the high school sports kids in, because it's that same atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're teenage kids. They're traveling on the road together, kind of like your basketball team or your volleyball team or your football team, you know, doing their thing. And they have their camaraderie and their, you know, things that teenagers do on the road. You know, that's just what happens. It's just fun. And that's that they're making memories. And I guarantee when those kids are our age and older,
they'll remember
sitting there
them.
and they're telling stories to their kids about what they did at 4-H. So that's the fun part. So please come check it out. Get involved here in the fair in a couple weeks here. Come on out to the fair. Senior Day is on Wednesday, so for seniors 55 and older, get in free that day. So that's a good day for seniors to come out, some of the shows, take advantage of senior stuff, visit the education building if you want to do that. I know one of the days, I want to say it's Tuesdays, like $25 admission day, and that includes an armband to ride the rides. So you can, if you want to ride the rides and do all of it, $25 will get you in.
Well, and Children's Day is going to be Friday, so a lot of the schools will be visiting out. We've got some great educational workshops lined up for the kids that are visiting that day, for the schools that are coming out.
Yeah, so each day they've got different stuff going on and things. So come on out, and I'm telling you, each day, you know, the show, especially with the entertainment schedule. So go to the Eastern New Mexico State Fair page, enmsf.com, I think, and then you can see all the entertainments over a certain night. Ooh, so and so is going to be there. Make sure, and of course your concerts and stuff. That's include parking's free. Admission includes into the fair includes those concerts and all that kind of stuff. So please come out, and then, but while you're here, visit these other buildings. You know, come for the rides, come for the concerts,
the
come
fried
for the
food, whatever.
But make sure you support the heart of the fair.
Right.
Support why we're really having a fair, and it's those kids, and that's why we're doing it. So, and I guarantee you're gonna love it. It's so much fun. You see a kid that's 2 feet tall, just doing his thing, and it's so cute and happy. I don't know, it just hits you in a certain way when you're out there. It's just warms the cockles of your heart. Good deal. So, and then don't forget, if you have any questions about anything we're talking about here at the Extension office, if you want more questions about the diabetes awareness stuff or need any resources on that kind of stuff, don't hesitate to call the Extension office. Conversely, if you have questions about pecan weevil traps, or if you need to get your pecans inspected, or any questions regarding gardening and stuff, or pest management, pest control stuff, Drew can happily take care of that stuff. Tamara will pass the buck on to Drew on that
I
stuff.
will. In fact, I know that he is scheduling some CEUs for those that are looking for their pesticide applicator license and things like that. And so definitely give us a call. Drew's happy to give you all of those details.
Absolutely, yeah. And I know there's some certifications and things that all the pest management folks need to have, and he can help navigate you through all that stuff. And I know it gets into the weeds sometimes, pardon the pun there on that, but it kind of does. Just, it's a lot of stuff there. And of course, if you're looking come ask. If you have, I know we're talking recruiting season, but if you have a kid that's an age and you're showing them all the stuff at the fair and they have an interest, please reach out, talk, and say, hey, we have one that loves all this stuff. Come on, and then come on out to the library. Do those things on which Wednesday is again? I keep forgetting.
So in Roswell, it's going to be the second Wednesday of the month, and in Hagerman, it's going to be the third Wednesday of the month. And then Drew will continue to have his on Saturday.
And that's for the Drew one is the garden
yes.
stuff. That's they'll have, sometimes it's Drew, sometimes it's more the
Master
gardener.
Mm-hmm.
But they're the ones that everything from your small gardens to commercial crop management. Those guys are pretty expert in all that kind of stuff. So good deal. Tamara, is there anything we wanted to cover that we missed? Or?
I think that was it on my list.
All right. Well, welcome home.
Thank you.
She even got the same fair clothes on. She just came right from the fair here and didn't even go home. So she's going to go home and put her... I'm kidding.
Does it look like it? Does it look like it?
But welcome home, and I'm sure you'll be happy to sleep in your own bed tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fun to travel, but it's also much better.
Great to be home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Makes you appreciate it a little more. So good deal. Well, thank you, Tamara. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
All right, it is 8:41. Let's pause.
Bloomberg announced he will pump $500 million into the next phase of his energy transition campaign that aims to shut down coal plants in the United States and slash gas-fired capacity in half by 2030. Jet engine maker CFM International said on Wednesday thousands of engine components may have been sold with forged paperwork by a British distributor as the fallout from the probe into falsely certified parts reached London's High Court. Bank of America will boost its minimum hourly wage to $23 an hour in October as it heads toward a goal of raising hourly pay to $25 by 2025. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
The Rehabilitation Center at Artesia General Hospital offers a variety of services led by experienced licensed therapists, including physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. Their multidisciplinary team provides a complete evaluation with the full support of your primary care provider to develop a custom plan to support your personal goals and recovery needs. These treatment plans help manage symptoms, educate patients and their families, and ultimately get back to the activities that bring you joy. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/rehab.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Our God created everything, Genesis says. Most of us have accepted that as fact, but haven't really thought through how awesome it makes our God. Everything started with Him, nothing before and nothing without Him. Do you want a God that is anything less or less able to do what God did and continues to do? He didn't stop there. He not only created everything, but He took the time to create man and woman in His image, different and more than any other part of His creation. He put Himself into each human. Not only that, but He gave us free will to decide to follow Him, to choose Him as our God. Even though He created us, He wanted to give us a choice to choose Him, to make the right choice, not necessarily the easiest choice or the popular choice, but certainly the best choice. He gives us this choice even though He knows that we're going to mess up, that we're going to use that free will that He gave us to make bad decisions. But then He offers His salvation and forgiveness, ongoing, every day, because we've chosen Him.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Hey, this is Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's worst nightmare. You know storm chasers, those out-of-town roofers that descend on neighborhoods after big storms. They come in, do a crummy job, then poof, they're gone forever. Well, a few years ago, our area had a hailstorm, and right on cue, storm chasers showed up. I was driving home from work one evening and saw one talking to an elderly lady on her porch. I said, "Not today, buddy." I did a U-turn, pulled in the driveway, and walked right up to them. I warned the woman who they were talking to, and I chased away the storm chaser. The woman's daughter called me later and said a storm chaser ripped them off a few years ago. She thanked me for stopping this one and chose Trustmark for her roof. Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's nightmare. Every homeowner's champion. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring and roof gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first. Your home is your sanctuary, and the land it's built on is even more precious. So when termites start devouring your house, you want a proven treatment that's environmentally responsible. You want the Centricon Termite Colony Elimination System. The Centricon system is the green way to protect homes from subterranean termites. Rather than surrounding your house with hundreds of gallons of diluted chemical solution, the Centricon system strategically uses just a few grams of active ingredient in termite bait, working with natural termite behavior to destroy termite colonies. With this technology, it's no wonder the Centricon system became the only termite treatment to receive the Presidential Green Chemistry Challenge Award from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. And homeowners rate the Centricon system as the most environmentally sound termite treatment. Your home is your sanctuary, so monitor, bait, and eliminate termites with the Centricon system. Think of it as your own little piece on Earth.
Call Bob Reed Pest Control today for all of Southeast New Mexico. 575-623-5344.
Your fingernails grow faster on your dominant hand. Not sure which is your dominant hand? Just wait. You'll nail it. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:57. Stay tuned next hour, about 8:15 or so. Juanita Jennings, Public Affairs Director for the City of Roswell, will join us. Give us an update on what's happening in and around the city. A couple events to put on your radar in the meantime. Of course, next Thursday, 1 week from today, the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association will be having a candidate forum. I believe it starts at 5 p.m. It'll be at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. City council candidates, school board candidates, and judge candidates all will be in attendance And we will be streaming that also at ksvptv.com. We'll have it live and on demand. We'll also be carrying audio on the radio right here, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM for that event. But I always say be there if you can, and then we'll have it on demand. So when you get home or next day, you can go back and rewatch parts you missed, or if there's things you didn't quite catch the first time, you can catch it the second time. But that is next Thursday, the 28th, at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. On Tuesday, the 26th, I don't know what time, but Many Hands, a nonprofit organization that works a lot with homeless, they are also having a candidate forum at the Convention Center on Tuesday of next week, the 26th, and theirs is focusing primarily asking questions about homeless and things like that. I don't have the time on that one, but I encourage folks to get out and be involved with that one too. Also, don't forget, on September 30th, the city is hosting a Forever Friends Fair. That's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Melendez Park, which is at 600 block of East McGaffey, right behind Animal Control. They're going to have a bunch of furry friends available for adoption, free hot dogs and chips and drinks for all that come by. And again, that's next Saturday, September 30th, 10 to 2 at Melendez Park there. And then also don't forget, on October 13th, so Friday, the Joy Center is having their trunk or treat. I'm guessing one of the first trunk or treats of the October season there. If you'd like to participate, you can reach out to Alex at 575-914-0285. Businesses and individuals are welcome for that. All right, it is time for news. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We will be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. New wave of layoffs announced by some of the Detroit automakers who blame it on the UAW strike.
General Motors says it idled a 2,000-worker plant in Kansas because they don't have the parts they need. They come from a plant near St. Louis where workers are on strike. Jeep maker Stellantis says it expects to lay off more than 300 workers in Ohio and Indiana because of the strike at its assembly plant in Toledo.
No justice, no Jeep.
Union members rallying outside Stellantis headquarters in Auburn Hills, Michigan, included Yolanda Downs, who wants an end to lower wage scales for new workers.
If I'm working on one side of the line and I'm making $30 and the person across from me is making $15 an hour, how is that fair?
UAW President Shawn Fain says new strike targets will be announced Friday unless there's serious progress. I'm Jennifer King.
Unemployment applications fell to an 8-month low last week. Claims tumbled by 20,000 to 201,000 for the week ending September 16th. That according to the Labor Department. The Biden administration is extending special protective status to roughly 470,000 Venezuelans in the U.S. illegally. It will make it easier for them to get work permits. Texas Governor Greg Abbott sending crews to repair razor wire along the border. A barrier, he says, it was cut by the Biden administration. The mayor of the besieged city of Eagle Pass, Texas, has declared a state of emergency with 14,000 migrant crossings since last week alone, 270,000 so far this year, and no end in sight. A private passenger rail service launching in the U.S. for the first time in a century. Florida's Brightline will be running high-speed trains between Miami and Orlando. They'll reach speeds of 125 miles per hour along that 235-mile route. On Wall Street, the Dow down 192. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Between Canada and India is growing wider. India's visa processing center in Canada is suspending services after Canada's leader said that India may have had a role in the killing of a Canadian citizen. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau told Parliament there are credible allegations of Indian involvement in the assassination of a Sikh independence activist. India has labeled the charge absurd. Canada expelled an Indian diplomat, and then India followed by expelling a Canadian diplomat. Kenya's president committing his country to lead a multinational force in Haiti to combat gang warfare, even as residents of both countries question the plan being pushed by the Biden administration. Haiti's prime minister requested the immediate deployment of such a force a year ago. Some Haitians and Kenyans are skeptical of the deployment led by Kenyan police, who have long been accused by human rights monitors of deadly force, torture, and other abuses. News and analysis, townhall.com. A young man, a Southeastern Conference college football player, is on the mend following a serious operation.
The family of LSU safety Greg Brooks says the Tigers defensive back has undergone surgery to remove a large brain tumor. The family says in a social media post that doctors successfully performed the procedure and the biopsy results are pending. Brooks left the team last week just days before the 12th-ranked Tigers' 41-14 victory at Mississippi State. Coach Brian Kelly said Monday that he could not estimate when Brooks might return to football. Brooks transferred to LSU from Arkansas before last season. LSU hosts the Razorbacks this Saturday. I'm Geffen Coolbaugh.
As economists are expecting, the Federal Reserve has decided to hold the line on interest rates. For the time being, there will be no change. And the Fed is also signaling optimism about a soft landing for the U.S. economy. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to our number The Deuce of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. I'm trying to see if it's still raining. It kind of looks like it's just cloudy.
It's just cloudy. A couple of sprinkles. Nothing major.
All right. No major sprinkles.
No major sprinkles. It was my commanding officer.
It's like major sprinkles.
Major sprinkles.
Gosh, I wish I knew a guy in the military. His last name was Sprinkles.
Sprinkles. I'd imagine at that point you'd change it.
Major Sprinkles.
That feels like a Arlie Ermy insult.
Well, certain ranks just won't. Like General Sprinkles doesn't sound any better.
General Sprinkles. Private Sprinkles sounds terrible.
It does. Well, if he's gonna be an officer, he won't ever see private. Stick with Captain Sprinkles.
PFC Sprinkles.
Captain Sprinkles sounds awesome though. Like that's a wrestling name.
Mm-hmm. Captain Sprinkles. Boys. There's a guy named Dalton Castle who wrestles for Ring of Honor and sometimes AEW, and his whole gimmick is he's got the boys. He calls these two, they're like pool boys essentially.
Okay.
And like they stack themselves at the ring so he can climb up their backs to get in the ring.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like, or if it's like a over the top battle royal, he'll go over the top rope and they'll catch him so that he doesn't put his feet on. Yeah. It's this whole gimmick is he's got the boys.
Very like Jerry the King
Super
Lawler,
flamboyant.
that kind of that esque type who was a couple of the mothers from back? Brutus Beefcake.
Gorgeous George, I think.
Yeah, Gorgeous George. Brutus Beefcake had a little
Brutus,
diva to him too.
A bit of that, yeah.
Classy Freddie.
Yes, Freddie Blassie was like, that was his whole gimmick.
Yeah, so you can't forget that. So I love that they, kind of rehash some of the old, I mean,
the tropes of yesteryear.
Macho Man even had a little bit of that in his.
I'd say maybe in his the Cream Rises promo.
Yeah,
the cream.
But when he had what's her name and all that, there was a little of that going on. And,
a little bit.
Like I'm talking like 80s, like at the height,
like
of
before the
WW.
Mega Powers.
Yeah, like when Junkyard Dog were still relevant, and
he definitely was.
Sergeant Slaughter
was a lot more colorful, a lot more. I guess technically that would be more flamboyant.
Yeah. Jesse the Body Ventura was more of a flamboyant type wrestler back in his day with his. Didn't he run around with a boa, like a big fur boa, or whatever they call those things?
Yeah, you're right. It's a boa. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So
what was Superstar Billy Graham was kind of like that too.
Yeah. You know who's the wrestler that used to annoy me the most? Like out of all the wrestlers, like his villainry just annoyed me the most, and he did it great. So I mean, to the point, he did it.
I've got an answer for this one too, but go ahead.
Honky Tonk Man.
Okay.
The Honky Tonk Man I just wanted to punch him in the face every time. This is a little kid there, which is exactly what he wanted you to do, so he nailed it.
But what's funny is the guy who I can't stand, he sort of stole his gimmick from Honky Tonk Man, which is Jeff Jarrett.
Okay.
That dude has been a bane in my existence for the entirety of my fandom of wrestling. He's the guy who's responsible for the term slap nuts, which I have always hated. Yeah. It's like my least favorite wrestling. I hate that so much.
It does seem a little cringy.
Yeah, it's bad. But yeah, he does the whole guitar thing just like a Honky Tonk Man used to do. So
yeah, and
kind of nicked that gimmick.
And weirdly, one of my favorite ones was Jake the Snake.
Oh yeah,
I loved his whole, especially because he floated. He'd be heel one week and a face the next. He was always he flipped sides all the time.
He was known for one of the most for the most realistic and best promos because he really emoted.
Yes, yeah. Oh, he did some crazy stuff with that snake he carried in the bag and the whole thing. Yeah. But he was always that guy that you're like, is he heel or is he a face? He goes one week is he was one of those chameleon guys.
Joe Macho Man made Jake the Snake made him. Use the snake to bite himself on the arm before he would do the gimmick.
I remember
it was on Dark Side. I think.
Yeah, Dark Side. That's what I remember seeing.
He said he wouldn't do it until Jake took a bite first.
Yeah,
just to prove that it wasn't venomous.
Well, hey, it is part of the gig.
It's true.
But, dude, what if because let's just face it, Jake the Snake may be a great wrestler, but he's not no botanist or he's no biologist or whatever.
Guaranteed the snake's been devenomized.
Zoographer or whatever they call it.
Show me your credentials.
Yeah. My bad. I thought it wasn't poisonous.
Oh, I'm sorry. I grabbed from the non-venomous or from the venomous tank today. I'm sorry.
Yeah, my bad.
You shouldn't keep those two tanks so close to each other.
Of course, it was a python, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Was it a python? Pythons are not poisonous. They're constrictors. That's what they do. But anyway. But yeah, I was. That's good to see. I liked that gimmick every once in a while. It was kind of fun to watch. It was way better than, because it's so better. Like I love that gimmick. Like back in that day, you always had like the British Bulldogs. There was always those tag team groups. There were always that like super clean cutty British Bulldogs at that time were they were face people. There's a couple other of those, and they're always usually like Olympic wrestlers or guys like that came from a like high school wrestling or college wrestling background, and they're all super jacked, but they're all clean. Like they wear just the tights, they got the clean haircuts, they do a lot of flips and swirls and do things to amaze you. But at the end of the day,
straight edge. That's what I was trying to think.
Yeah,
straight edge.
They don't really have the gimmick like a Honky Tonk Man or someone that or even an Undertaker or someone like that. I'd love. I mean, there's a place in wrestling for those types, but to me, they're like. Yeah, you need some.
I don't necessarily think you need a gimmick to get over though, because you look at somebody like a Kurt Angle, whose whole thing was he was an Olympian.
Yeah,
came in with a broken freaking neck. He was just funny though. That's like if you can.
But a lot of the guys don't have Kurt Angle. Usually they just look like pretty boys that fly around and stuff, and then you talk to them and it's like, yeah, then they pound their Mountain Dew or something.
It's true of most like types of film or TV from back in the day, it's really hard to go back and watch stuff from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Not because of just how overboard it is, but because of the way it was put to me was it's like watching through a series of ghosts because it's so grainy. It's so just like shadowy.
Yeah.
It's just so it's not fun to watch.
It didn't look that way back when we watched it.
Of course not.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going back and trying to watch like an episode of Seinfeld now because it's in the 4.3 aspect ratio.
Yeah.
And some of them have been up graded and all that, but I don't know. It's kind of like I have a hard time going back and watching stuff like that just with modern sensibilities.
But sometimes that style adds to like for instance, Dark Side. You know, they're talking about the darker sides of wrestling. And so when they show the old clips and to me it looks much more darker in that because it's older film. It just looks it kind of like
seedier.
Yes. It has a hint of this is really
and that's
undercurrent.
that was also back in the day when kayfabe was was the Bible. So you would have, fans outside, threatening heels with their lives.
Oh, yeah. It was, riot-like situations at some of these
slashing
places.
their tires and stuff.
Especially when you hit, the real wrestling belt down in, the Carolinas, down in Tennessee and down Texas. You hit some of those areas. It's, or even probably Midwest, too.
It gets a little territorial.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Well, and then, even up in Canada, I think there were certain, all right, you come from here, you got to act a certain way or do a certain way. This ain't Texas. You don't do it Texas way. That kind of, there was a lot of that going on back then. So, and it was, it was a bunch of wrestling at that time was big fish and small ponds. And then it turned into one big fish and one big pond that kind of, and that's why guys like Vince McMahon are vilified because people like him are kind of credited with getting rid of territorial
wrestling. Yeah, he broke the
wrestling
territories.
and just turned it into these one or two big conglomerates. So.
Which is funny you mentioned Canada. This is the whole Stu Hart. One of my favorite stories from Dark Side is when they were talking about Stu Hart's dungeon and how Brett and Owen would come down for breakfast in the morning and Stu would be in the dungeon stretching somebody out. And you just hear blood curdling screams while they're sitting there eating Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, and for what he's talking about there, that was kind of like an unofficial training camp for the wrestlers, and there's a whole branch of wrestlers even to this day that still are under that the dungeon,
that tutelage, or those who learned from Stu Hart.
But it was kind of like Navy SEAL camp for military. It's like the best of the best. You're going to get beat up, but if you come through this thing, you're going to be a great wrestler.
That's true.
And that's kind of the mantra. But
got to break the horse before you can ride it.
It was a lot of things that were unsafe, and even to today, especially by today's standards, some way people do and handle things. A lot of the stories that come from the dungeon are, let's just say, not safe for public consumption.
The line from the movie Ready to Rumble is, "You don't let go until you hear cartilage snap and bones break." Jiminy Christmas, dude!
Yeah.
This is fake fighting.
All right. Well, it's got to take a certain mindset to want to do that job. Of course. And so they got to. It's no different than football players or combat veterans. You got to do a certain thing to get you ready for the thing you're about to do.
Yeah.
And that isn't always, the most public human thing.
That's
to
true.
Sometimes
got to go through the worst so that the isn't so bad.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know how we got on that one, but we did.
It just drifts that way sometimes.
Our guest isn't here, are they?
See them pop in.
Okay, let's see. We may have to play an interview if they don't show up here. We'll see. There was something I was going to mention. What was it? I was going to talk about something. I've had trouble with this lately. There was something I was like, I want to talk about, and I just completely
there is something I want to talk about, but I have to mention that I am equal parts fascinated by it, entertained by it, amazed by it, and sort of confused by it.
Okay.
And that's Roy's coat.
Oh.
I think this is the
like
coolest
Roy's coat.
It's the coolest coat I've ever seen in my life. He wore it on Monday and he wore it again today. It's like the coolest coat I've ever seen in my life, but it's so baffling in some of its design.
Is it? It's random words and stuff, right?
I want to see if he's going to come in.
I like the coat.
Okay. No, check it out. It's what it is. I love the design of the coat. The colors are awesome. Come over here to the camera so they can see. So the colors are cool. It's the wording on it that baffles me because it says AM2A, but then there's another thing on the back. Flip around real quick. This thing right here. It says.
Is that a company 28 or something?
I don't know. It's on the back. It says, "You best
omnidentity the second the cond. It's like if an AI picture generator tried to put words together. But I love the design of the code.
But that's why I like it, because I'm like, I don't understand any of the. I'm guessing AM to 8 is like a brand name.
I'm assuming. I don't want to make you feel self-conscious because I love the code. The colors are awesome.
You realize we sound like grandpas right now.
I know.
You and I both are like, what's this there? The words on your coat there.
Hop on, Mike.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I'm like, yeah, we're old officially.
Oh no, I'm sure this is like some Chinese knockoff stuff or whatever. Like
it's a cool looking coat.
Yeah,
it really is.
I like it. It looks comfortable.
I am down for any coat that offers arm storage.
But
that's just handy.
But have you tried looking up what that stuff on the back of your jacket means?
No,
because is it German? What was it?
I don't know. Well, he thinks it's like AI or something.
Oh.
And
it's written in English. It looks like if you ever seen like
English
somebody
letters, I don't know if the words.
If you ever seen somebody like write Navajo, it kind of looks like that. It's like it looks like it should make sense, but it
is there
doesn't.
any like weird tildes or anything in the saying on the back?
Tilde?
You know, I mean, or little accent days or anything, or is it just letters? No,
it's
the best.
2-8, and then it says strive. Well, it almost says strive. It says STVRI and a backwards E.
Okay.
Oh, and then down here it says then is high boot sport. HIE boot sport.
OMENDR Omentry.
Yeah, Omentry. The second the cond. It's I want to know more about it.
I think it's one of those situations where the Asian people try to put English.
Here it is.
Okay. So it's a.
They try to use the English words because they think it sounds cool.
I gotcha.
I found it.
Does it mean something?
No, it comes in different colors though. There was a gray variety and a black variety.
Oh,
but it's all the same, and it says it says. You best Omentry the second to come. It's the same, the same thing.
Did you get the code online, or did you find it in a store somewhere?
It was online, yeah.
Okay.
You paid £47.95 for it.
Oh, that's a cool looking jacket. But like I said, I would like to understand what it is all about.
I think I got it on Etsy. I think.
Okay.
You know what I think? I think they put it there just for this reason. Like they don't know what it is. It's like we'll just put random stuff on there.
Some idiots on a morning show will talk about it for 5 minutes.
But it is, and it's got sleeve pockets, which are always good to have. You know, I would use sleeve pockets.
Oh,
if
totally.
I had them.
That feels tactical.
Well, and then things that you always crush in your pants pockets won't get crushed in your sleeve pockets.
That's right. You can keep your pineapple in there so it doesn't get crushed. Actually, I was thinking like a boot knife, or like a throwing knife, so you can just at
I'm
random.
thinking that's where you put
Some sort of shuriken.
Like Napoleon. That's where you keep your tots.
That's where you keep your tots.
Dude, give me some tots.
Oh, I gotta find it. That reminds me. I saw a mashup this morning.
Yeah.
And it was Taylor Swift, but with Napoleon Dynamite's face.
Yeah.
It just said Taylor Tots.
Well, she's all over the NFL circles now because apparently she's dating. Is it Jason Kelce? No, what's the tight end Kelce?
I'm not sure.
Travis Kelce. Which one's there's the Kelce brothers. The one that's the tight end for the Chiefs. Is that Travis? I think Jason's the lineman for the Eagles, or was the Eagle. I think he retired. I think it's Travis Kelce. I always get the
Swift
Kelce
dating Jason Kelce.
Jason Kelce. Is that the one she's dating?
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't confirm. No, wait. I'm sorry. Jason Kelce didn't confirm Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are dating.
Oh, there
it's
it
Travis.
is. So Jason's. Yeah, there it is.
Too many Kelces.
I think. There was a report saying Jason Kelce saying Travis Kelce's dating Taylor Swift.
I'll get ready. There's a song on our next album called Travis. We're gonna know why. Dear Travie.
I even saw one saying she was. Someone joked and put one out saying she was dating Sam Howell. Saying Roy. Saying there's a chance.
She's got it tight.
By the way, if you're just wondering what that's about, go look up Sam Howell. That's what Roy looks like.
We've done side-by-side comparisons. They're pretty close. You do have some Sam Howell up in you.
And now he's like trending because he's 3-0. He's only been in 3 NFL games as a starter.
I think it's the hair.
3-0.
It's the hair because he keeps the hair a little
Well,
wacky.
even the face is a little like they share features that are similar. Yeah, I think they look a lot alike.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah, I think he's a little. Well, how tall are you?
6'3".
Okay.
Actually, I think you might even be an inch or two tall. I think he's only 6'2".
We're just saying, dude, shoot your shot. Taylor's got a type.
Right.
There you go.
I'm not a Swiftie like everyone else.
You don't have to be into music. I'm assuming Travis Kelce probably isn't either.
Yeah, I'm guessing not. He probably met her at a club somewhere. You know, people. How do famous people meet? They get them introduced by some other thing, or they show up at a celebrity thing, and I don't know. Maybe they have celebrity Tinder. I don't know.
One of those. They do. It's one of those things where you find out that like certain like members of a class of society have access to apps that we don't.
Yeah.
There's an app I did a story about it a couple weeks ago that you have to pay $30,000 a year to even be a part of, but it's a concierge app, meaning you say this is what I need to have happen or what have happened, and this company will make it happen for you.
Oh.
Like we're talking. It was talking about like. A whole row of tickets to Taylor Swift plus meet and greet passes for afterwards, or one guy wanted to drive a NASCAR, so they like set it up to where he could like go on a road test or whatever.
Is the app free to download?
No, there's like you have to like qualify. You have to be invited and you have to qualify.
Wow, it's like a whole exclusive club, like the Black Card, kind of thing. All right. I'm like, hi, yeah, I'm in my Apple store and I'm looking for your app, and how much is it?
I'm not seeing it.
I'm not seeing it here.
The dating app is called The Ladders, and it's specifically for people. And I don't know if this is the one they use, but it's like for people who are worth $150,000 a year or more.
Oh,
because you're climbing the corporate ladder.
Wow.
And you don't want to date us noobs.
Maybe we should start noobs only. You don't have to be lonely at noobsonly.com.
Just help me make it to my next check.
I'm going to guess our guest isn't coming. They're not here yet.
I think it's safe to say it.
All right. So let me do this. Let me perform some weather and some ads. Yeah, perform the weather.
Perform the weather?
I will perform the weather. Sprinkles. Here is your weather, but I'll pick up an interview we'll replay here in a minute.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have stationary front nearby and just enough moist air for some showers and thunderstorms. This afternoon we'll be in the low 90s on the high. Maybe a few lingering showers overnight. They'll taper off before midnight, mid 60s on the low, and then we heat up for the upcoming weekend. Upper 90s for the afternoon high on Friday and Saturday. Sunshine both days, low 90s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
This may be the biggest sales event of the whole year. The greatest sell-off is on at Roswell Honda, and that means the race is on to save big. Like a 2019 Ford Fiesta for just $329 a month, or a 2011 Toyota Highlander for just $289 a month. Plus, push, pull, or drag in your trade, and it's worth at least $2,000 towards your next vehicle. Then join Roswell Honda September 23rd from 10 to 1 for free lunch and great prizes, including your chance to win an Xbox Series X Forza Horizon bundle. The greatest sell-off on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, prowl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you can call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
A night of music that'll bring you joy. Compassion presents We Are Messengers Where the Joy Is tour with special guest Cochran and Company and Ben Fuller. Sunday, October 15th in Carlsbad at Walter Gerald's Performing Arts Center. We Are Messengers, Where the Joy Is Tour with Cochran & Company and Ben Fuller. Tickets are available now at wearemessengersmusic.com.
Your destination for health is closer than you think. You don't have to drive hours for personalized care. You can get high-quality health care right here, close to home, at Artesia General Hospital. From hip, knee, and shoulder replacements to sports injuries, general surgery, pain management, and wound care, our providers will help you get back to doing the things you love right here in Southeast New Mexico. Artesia General Hospital is here for you when you need us. To learn more about some of our key service lines, visit artesiageneral.com/closer.
Let's face it, guys, we're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
How low? Zero. The Zero Down Touchdown event is on now at Roswell Nissan with Zero Down on a great selection of vehicles like a 2019 Ford F-150 for just $489 a month, 2021 Nissan Versa just $289 a month, or a 2020 Chevy Spark for just $349 a month. And Roswell Nissan is giving away a brand new TV every day September 21st through the 30th at 6 p.m. Then on September 30th, join Roswell Nissan for the chance to win 2 tickets to see the Cowboys take on the Giants from AT&T Stadium. The Zero Down Touchdown event on now at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:30. Our guest has not made it, so let's do this. On Tuesday in the 7 o'clock hour, we had Christina Arnold, City Councilor for Ward 1, and Abraham Chaparro, who is head of the sanitation department. He's a sanitation department director. Had a great little conversation with him about, kind of how the sausage is made in the sanitation department. So we're going to play that interview for you now. Here it is, Christina Arnold and Abraham Chaparro. Enjoy. And joining us in
M&M's. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 15 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning from the Chaves County Extension Office, Tamara Schubert, back with us, freshly in from Fair.
Freshly in, that is correct. Fair wrapped up yesterday, so on to
Dude, hold my beer and check this out. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, City Councilor representing Ward 1, Christina Arnold, with us this morning. Also, Director of Sanitation for the City of Roswell, Abraham Chaparro. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing? Thank you for having us.
Thank you for joining us. And I was trying to explain what we're going to do, and then I was going to say, we're going to talk about how the sausage made the sanitation part. Then I realized that's probably not the best way to describe that.
no one wants sausage.
No, they don't meld together there on that too. But nonetheless, I imagine you're like the offensive lineman if you're a football guy, because NFL offensive linemen, if they're doing their job, you never hear about them. And I kind of feel like, Abraham, your job's kind of the same way. If no one's complaining, then the job's getting done.
We strive every day. We're we're kind of in the back shadows. We like to do our job. We're dedicated, and we do the best we can for the city.
Absolutely. And that's what people, they want to turn on their water. The water comes on. When they put the trash out the curb, they want to make sure the trash is gone every day. And when the toilet's supposed to flush, they want it to flush. And that's as long as those things are working, and guys like Abraham, they're like, yeah, he's doing a good job.
Yes. Actually, that's kind of been my thought, because I try to imagine a city with, trash not being accurately picked up and no water, and I know that the constituents, those are some of their main concerns, and that's kind of the phone calls that that I get.
Sure.
And that's why I felt that it was important to start bringing people on, because you know how I feel about education. So
Absolutely.
Abraham is awesome at trying to get things covered, and I wanted the world to meet him.
Absolutely. Well, one thing I want to say, Abraham, and this is my own personal experience, and I've had nothing but great experiences with sanitation department.
Nice.
And like there's been times, like for instance, the house I live in now, I've been in about 6-7 years now, but when I first moved in there, they kind of told me to take the trash one spot, and it turns out I was supposed to take it to another spot, and of course called the city. It's like, I didn't know. They're like, no problem. And they send a truck right out. Boom, right away. About a year later, my trash can goes missing. I call them up. Oh, no problem. Boom, right away. Got it. I mean, every time I've had something go wrong, sanitation's boom, they're on top of it every single time real quick. Just things happen that's through no fault of anybody. It just kind of happens. But even there was a time where something got picked up late or something, so it came back and got it again. I mean, your staff has, at least in my experience, have gone out of the way to help the public.
As public servant, we take pride in what we do, and then and to no fault of my employees, I'm only as good as my employees. And without the employees that go out there day after day and are dedicated to do their job, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, or it's snowing or raining, we're out there getting it. So,
but there's a good reason why you're seeing them at dark 30 picking up the trash, because they don't want to be out when it's 107 degrees.
Yeah, that's exactly true. And then we can take that into account as well. We want to stay in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
We want to stay out of the traffic. And when you get up in the morning, you want to get to work. We want to be out of the way.
Last thing you want to do is a big trash truck in your way.
Exactly. So we take pride in that. And some of the things that we look at too is like bulk trash. We've had issues with bulk trash. So bulk trash, people had a tendency to go out there, throw it in the back, and forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
So we deal with that every day, and we run those avenues every day. But in cooperation with everybody, working together, working with our counselors, working with our governing body, also working with our residents. Hey, how can we help you alleviate this and help us make our job a lot easier?
Sure,
so we can run more efficient.
Well, and that's we've had discussions in the past about just certain things in this department, and like like you're saying, it has to be that partnership. The community has to do its part, and what I mean by that kind of stuff is being responsible citizens. Like if you've got the bins in the alleys and things like that, there's certain rules and things in what you should put in there, and what obviously you shouldn't be leaning stuff on that thing and putting another big one, which this is also very much in sanitation, is weed control in the alley. That's the highways that these trash trucks use to pick up the dumpsters and things. If they're overgrown with weeds and what have you, and they can't see things like gas meters and stuff like that in the alleys because of the weeds, that's not sanitation's fault that happens. It's on us, the citizens, to make sure that we are responsible for our little sections there. So they're going to bust their butt for you guys, but we as a public do have to meet you guys in the middle on some of that stuff.
So, yeah, that's actually interesting that you bring that up. So for my birthday this last July, I asked Abraham if I could go do a ride along.
Mm-hmm. You got weird birthday requests.
I know. Well, I'm kind of.
What do you want to do for your birthday? I want to ride in a trash truck.
Well, it was that or fire truck, but so,
I can get that one.
Yeah. Well, no, I do recognize I'm a little bit on the nerdy side on that stuff, but I was very excited. And because I really wanted to see, how, like you said, how the sausage was made. I needed to understand kind of what they go through on a daily basis. And,
sure.
So Norman was awesome. And I learned a whole bunch about, I think I went on a grappler, right?
Yeah, grapple truck.
So, yeah, it was actually very fascinating to see what they have to do to get past lines, how difficult it is if you actually put grass, because you can't pick up grass with a grapple.
Yeah.
So, if you're putting that on the ground, there was so much I learned by just actually exposing myself to it. It kind of made me understand a lot more on what they have to work through.
Sure.
So a lot of the grapple trucks, they help us throughout these vacant lots throughout the city. And also a lot of illegal dumping that we're attacking. We pick up on average about 28 tons a day per grapple truck.
Wow.
Illegal.
And that's all illegal stuff. That's not the stuff for people are putting that we're supposed to.
And what we're doing to kind of foreshadow that is, hey, come to the dump. Call us. We have options. We have other options we have to help you.
Residential, it's free for a lot of that stuff.
If you bring your water bill, it's free. Also, if you have a load that's less than 300 pounds, like a small truckload, a small trailer, it's $6.05.
That's dirt cheap.
And we'll work with you. And then if you're doing something bigger, for example, roll-offs, and then also grapple service, you can actually call. We'll go directly to your home. If you call for a grapple service, we'll charge you a nominal fee. We'll come out there, we'll service you, and we'll head out that same day.
Wow.
But a lot of the illegal dumping that's where we have a challenge, where we want to educate the people. That's kind of why we're here. Hey, what can we do to help you to curb this? Let's be a good neighbor. Let's help each other out.
Make it so simple that you don't have a reason to just dump it illegally in these locations.
Exactly. And we're trying to get that education out there. We have monthly flyers. You see some of our billboards that are out there. Also, you can always call us. You call us, we're going to pick up that phone.
Sure.
We'll talk to you. We'll let you know what's going on, and we'll help you.
Absolutely. And then, of course, throughout the year, particularly in the summer, we're kind of running out. But a lot of times you'll have like the recycle or e-waste events where you'll have the dumpsters travel to different locations and you can drop off trash or e-waste. And
we actually have a service at the landfill. I don't know if anybody knows about it. Like, people are bringing paint.
Okay.
We'll have a shed full of paint, and you can actually come out here and pick it up for free and take it back to your house.
Okay, so if you need like some paint to paint, and
yeah,
I didn't know that.
That's pretty cool.
We have a variety of paints.
Oh, you artists out there, especially if you're looking to do because I imagine it's probably hard to get one color, but if you're trying to do something kind of creative,
yes, we have a lot. We have a shed full of colors. We hold them for a certain amount of time. And residents, so you want to come up, pick them up, you can have them for free and take them out. We also have free mulch as well.
Yeah, the mulch thing I knew about.
Our
Y'all need to take
working
advantage of that
really well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you bring like your Christmas trees and stuff, and they mulch all up, and then there's a pile of mulch sitting there that you just got to back your vehicle up and load it up and take it with you.
Yeah, we'll actually load it up for you, and we'll help you out.
Oh, there you go. You won't even have to do it yourself.
So I think the biggest message we want to put across is illegal dumping. Let's work together. Let us know what can we do, how can we help the community, and curb that.
Where's I'm sure there's a few hot spots. What are some of the troublesome areas that you guys are kind of?
We have a lot of it is on the west side of town, on the northwest side. I won't be more specific, and also on the east side as well. And also a lot of vacant lots. People don't understand, if you own that vacant lot and there's illegal dumping in there, you're responsible for that illegal dumping.
Well, and I imagine junk begats junk. You know what I mean? And so if there's already like a starting of something that looks kind of nasty there, people are just going to be like, oh, that looks like a good spot.
Have you worked at the sanitation department before? You're actually right. You'll see a couple of bags. Yeah. You'll see a refrigerator. Then you'll see a bed. Yeah. Then you'll see a full house. You're exactly right. And those are the things kind of we chase, and we have a really good grapple team. We have a good grapple supervisor. He's very familiar with the city. We know the hot spots.
Gotcha.
And we work in conjunction with code enforcement. Hey, let's monitor this area. Let's keep eyes on it. Let's educate the neighbors. Hey, let us know if something's going on. Code enforcement is right next to us, and we'll come out there and we'll educate the neighborhood. Let them know we're here to help you. We want to educate first and foremost. That's
absolutely. Well, and we all know this is, when it comes to public safety and health and things like this, the sanitation department really is the first line of defense there on this kind of stuff. And if it can't do its job, then it leads to the other elements falling off too. I mean, let's face it, where the trash is, the crime's not far behind. You know what I mean? And this is what we're saying. So if you're trying to eliminate some of these other kind of problems that are in your neighborhood, start by cleaning up the trash. That might be the first step in taking it into where it's no different than humans. When you get dressed up for a fancy dinner, you kind of act a certain way. You get in your sweats and stuff, you act a different way. It's no different if you're in a neighborhood that's really nice. You're kind of like, well, I better not throw that trash on the ground. It's real nice. But if it's a dump, people don't feel so bad about doing it, and that's human beings. So
that actually brings me to. I think over the last year, working with Grace Frescas on the Chihuahua cleanups.
Mm-hmm. Which I love that they're the whole Chihuahua project.
Absolutely,
and
we did a sections in a cycle, and we'll start that cycle again. But what was so amazing about being out there is that when there was an opportunity to clean up, all the people came out. Sanitation was there. We had so many departments. It was a really great event, but and then by the next one that you have, people are still coming out and they understand that it's a process and they're looking for the opportunity to clean up, because you're exactly right. But it's a community thing. Yes, it's, a government service. We got to take
ownership of it.
But so that also means educating, because I am not really big on regulating, and he can tell you this, because I've told him, I'm like, I'm not going to write law unless we actually educate.
Sure.
So I would prefer, instead of making things a rule or an ordinance, or I would rather that we take time to come out and say, this is how it works. You need to break your boxes down.
Sure.
And I wanted him, because breaking boxes down is very important. It takes up a lot of room. Just simply cut them, fold them, and put them in there. So instead of me having to, actually create a law about that, if we as a public just took some time to actually understand the effect that it has on the whole system.
Absolutely. And I would imagine, just because of the way the world we live in now, especially when COVID, it's probably tenfold, because everybody's getting everything shipped
in a box.
In the box, Amazon, whatever it is.
We had a significant jump in our
there's probably 10 times the amount of that going on now than there was, say, 10 years ago.
Well, yeah, and Abraham, if you can kind of explain how the room, what kind of room a box takes up that's not been broken down.
So a lot of that, when we call it delivering airspace. We're just delivering an empty space. So if you break that down, you break down 2 or 3 boxes, we'll be able to transport them a lot easier. If you don't break them down, you throw them in a can, they'll actually get stuck in there. And the machine can't unload the garbage, so we got to get down. We got to bring it out so the trash can breaks. We want to make it more efficient. So if we get that help from the community, help us break down the boxes. We'll show you how to break it down and stack it in the container accurately. We'll be able to service you quickly and get out of there quickly.
Is there ever a plan in place or is cardboard recycling not even profitable anymore?
So right now we're having conversations with some agencies in Ruidoso about talking about recycling. Kind of start off kind of baby steps.
Sure.
And collect it at the landfill and then help.
And I know that's
it.
not all it's cracked up to be too. Like, we want to recycle, but globally, the way they do and things isn't what, you know what I mean? Like, it's not what we're all thinking.
We're a small community, and it'd be good to generate the significant amount of recyclables that we can actually generate a profit. So
it's pretty difficult. Deal. It's kind of, because I'm kind of, it's like, and I see this on these national things, like we do all this recycling, and you're like, well, this is what they really do with something. You're like, well, that's kind of upsetting to hear.
The mayor is actually a big proponent of recycling. He actually talks about recycling all the time because he's very passionate about it.
Yeah.
But I think we're at the phase where we kind of realized, okay, yes, this is a good idea, but at the same time, is it an effective idea?
Yeah.
And I think that in small communities, I think we can actually get together and kind of find out, okay, what can we recycle? What can we, like even boxes. And and
I love the kind of like the whole bottle cap thing.
Yes.
I love that. He's like,
absolutely.
Here's collect X amount of caps, you get a bench. I love that you can see tangible results from it. I just wish, we could see more of those kinds of things.
So when we get calls, sometimes we'll get calls for metal. A lot of people want to bring metal to us. Well, you know what? We utilize our private partnerships. Hey, go to Roswell Recycle. They'll get that. You'll pick up $20, $30, $40, $50.
Yeah.
You'll pick up some money from that instead of bringing it to us, and then it goes into we process it as well. But I'd rather help them. But having those partnerships locally would really help us out.
This is and this is why people in our industry have to worry about like our antennas getting stolen, because that's the metal's valuable, and that's what he's saying is you've got the metal, go get it. Trust me, people already know this and tried to do this illegally. You've got it legally, do it.
Yeah.
Instead of taking it to landfill, however, go get some money and get $20-$30 of metal out of that thing.
Any kind of diversion we can do will really help us out. Like that, the wood, you'll be surprised how many trees are in Roswell. And people trim trees all the time. So a lot of that diversion right now is about 2% for this landfill. We divert that, we mulch it, we have it ready for you, bring it back. That doesn't go into the landfill, but saves a lot more space for actually trash and garbage.
And exactly, we could have the best gardens in the region because there's enough mulch for everybody.
Yeah. Oh yes, you come in with the trailer, we'll fill you up, we'll send you out.
Yeah, absolutely. So please remember that too when you got your branches or Christmas time, and if you do the real Christmas trees. I know we always hear about drop-offs, and we'll have all of that when that time comes. But that's what ends up with that stuff. It gets mulched and it grows more plants and gardens.
And if you have a question about what you have, some waste, if you can dispose of it properly, or you need some guidance, give us a call. We'll send a supervisor out there. We're out there to educate you. You see our garbage trucks, guys, give them a wave. Tell them thank you for their hard work. And they're educated as well. We train them. We let them know, hey, how do I dispose of this properly? We're here to help you. We have an environmental compliance specialist that can actually come out to your home, too.
And that's the thing is, it's and this is the part I always try to get, because especially we live in a world where everyone's out to get you and everything. I was like, no, if you just go into City Hall and ask questions, like if you for building code enforcement, waste management, water department, any of these things, if you walk in there and just say, here's my situation, talk with them, 99.9% of the time they're going to find you a solution, and you're going to walk out of there with an answer, or a resolution to what you got going on.
A phone number, an email.
Yeah.
I wanted to add two parts to that. So yes, or call me, because that is exactly the attitude that I've seen from the city staff and the sanitation. There is a desire to problem solve. And so I get a lot of calls.
They want you happy too, just as much. I mean, they would love it when you walk in. It's like, hey, I'm here. Because let's face it, people don't go into City Hall unless they got something to complain about.
But I will say this, attitude is everything. Because I kind of want to go back to where you're talking about waving at, sanitation. Connecting to the people that are helping us is so important. Sometimes I will be out there driving along, honking and saying, waving at everybody, and I don't think they know who I am. But because I'm always, there's this crazy lady, hey!
We do it enough, the word gets around.
But I'm just saying, when you walk into the city angry, you kind of get a reflection of that. So basically, I think we need to kind of come together and communicating on a level where it's not aggressive, but where it's, I need
Everyone's
help.
geared up to go to war, and it's like, you don't have to.
You don't have
just
to,
come in and
you'll
ask.
What result do you expect if you come in angry?
And we do get those phone calls. People are extremely irate, angry. Sometimes we'll just hear them out. Let them vent it out. And then at the end of the solution, you know what? Yeah, what I'll do is I'll actually tell them, give me your address, give me your phone number. I'll see you in about 20 minutes.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll go out there, introduce myself, walk the alleys, talk to them. After that, they're like, you know what, Abraham, I apologize for that. Thank you for coming out here. It shows that we care, and it kind of shows the governing body how they actually care, and they're very involved in what we do, and so is City Hall.
But you don't have to be mad. You can be nice to it, and he'll do it too. Because, like I said, when we called, they're like, hey, we forgot. We're very nice, and they're like, no problem. We'll be right out. So you can be nice too and get the same service.
Yeah, we would appreciate that.
I actually kind of want to extend into this, segue into this area, because Abraham actually has been a big proponent of getting the Roswell site, organized, trained. His staff is top notch. He just came back from a state training, and so I kind of wanted him to kind of hit on some of the programs and the systems that he's implementing to help our facility run at a high level. So we're doing really well, and I want.
So there's a couple things to do here. We monitor we do a lot of environmentals and then at the landfill, and then also the efficiency in the process that we process your garbage. So a lot of that, going to the state training, we found out that a lot of other cities and small towns are not at the level that we are. So having that attention to training, train your bench, have your guys training for asbestos, for any kind of hazardous waste, any kind of landfill certifications. It gives them a sense of pride when they come to work, and we deliver that straight to the constituents, straight to the residents, because we're here to serve you as public servants. A lot of our processes, how we compact the trash. The landfill is one component of the other two. So in sanitation, what we do is we pick it up, we transport it, and we store it.
Right.
That's it. That's the gist of what we do. Every single one of those.
You have your collection side and your storage side.
Exactly. So on the storage side, what we want to do is, on the landfill side, my landfill supervisor, Fernando Valdez, what he works in airspace management. So we manage that airspace so we can extend the life of that.
Is he really good at packing the trunk for family vacations?
He is.
That's his skill set.
He's extended that life of that cell for at least another
family trip. He's the guy you want packing the trunk.
I'll just have him come by my house and pack my trunk.
There you go.
So a lot of those processes that we did, we saw the methodology that people did it in the past, and we made those changes, and we didn't make those changes in a silo. We called Santa Fe, we called Albuquerque, we called Carlsbad, we called some of the industry professionals like City of Phoenix. We called Colorado.
Gotcha.
How are you doing it? What are you doing? Show us. Let's work together in cooperation.
If the wheel ain't broke, let's not, don't reinvent the wheel. If
and
it's
bring
working.
Bring it to Roswell and implement it here. Luckily, with Roswell, it's a small community. We can really fine tune it and get it done just right. We just onboarded a Rubicon system that's going to actually help us deliver that customer service of picking up your garbage a lot more efficiently. And we have a kickoff meeting coming on Tuesday.
Okay.
Where we're going to show how we're going to pick up the garbage efficiently. So we'll even have a dashboard in your neighborhood where you'll be able to see, hey, when is my trash truck coming?
So it's kind of a choreographed dance on how a lot of that happens.
Exactly.
There.
And we have a very specific time frame. And then what makes it happen, what makes it work all the time is the employees. The employees that are out there getting it, waking up early, getting there on time, doing their push-ups, going out there, navigating those alleys that are obstacle courses.
Sure.
And getting it done for all of us.
And, say what you want. Every time I see sanitation, they always seem happy. And, you know what I mean? It kind of, because you always make that, as your kid, you don't want to be your garbage man. It turns out the garbage guys make pretty good money, by the way. But I always say, like, they look happy. Why do you not want? I feel like, what do you do all day? They hang on trucks, or they, and they look happy, and they look. I'm just like.
They're proud of what they do.
Probably a good gig to work at. So I imagine you got a lot of folks that probably been doing it for 20 years. And see, that's kind of the key. When you look at a place and you see you got a lot of folks that have been there for many years, that's a good indicator that that's a good place to work. People don't hang around if it's not a good place.
Well, and since because for me, I think some of the most important roles of government are infrastructure. Sanitation has actually been on the top of, my list. And so I've taken the time to go out and meet with the staff, and I will tell you, it's a good group of, I would say, guys, but we've got some women in there too. It's really awesome. I love it, and they're good with it too.
Top.
How's the employment on that side? Are you guys still hiring in that area?
We just I just seen the list yesterday. We have 4 vacancies on the automated collections.
Okay.
We have 2 more vacancies in the grapple service.
Another great way to get in, and of course, a city job with the benefits and everything.
And fun.
And fun. Exactly.
It's a great opportunity. We provide a great retirement. We have good sick leave and vacation as well. And then we foster a culture of come to work positive. We'll help you train. We'll help you get to that next level. We'll help you get to where you need to go. But at the same time, we provide good quality customer service to everybody in the city. That's what we do.
And of course, folks, if you need any assistance in this, don't hesitate to call or go onto the website. And I'm telling you, like I said, and I wasn't blowing smoke when I started the conversation. The 2 or 3 times over the years, I've had to call sanitation every single time. On top of it, nice, just and a couple times it was our fault, and they still came out and were just helpful and everything else. And that's been nothing but great things.
Thank you very much. Well, that customer service is just a reflection of the governing body we have, our administrative leadership we have. We're here to support. We want to answer. When you call, we want to be able to answer that phone. And you want to talk to a person.
Absolutely.
That's what we're there for.
Absolutely.
So thank you. I appreciate that.
I just want to remind the community, do your part. Keep those alleys cleared out, for the safety of our own workers, and not just, they hit a gas line in your neighborhood. That's not good for anybody. No. So,
but
do your part.
We're a team in all this.
Yeah.
Roswell, we're a team.
Absolutely.
It's a partnership, and if we want a better community, we have to actually really work together.
We all have a lot of times too, because it's a small community. We work with other departments. If I need assistance in an alley, I'll call the streets department. Hey, can I get some assistance? Hey, we're on it. We're already there. A lot of times they jump on it so quick. By the time I call them back, it's already done.
Nice.
So we work with the parks department.
I imagine there's times too where road department or something needed some trash or something out the way ASAP, and you guys had to go in there,
we're on it.
and do something unscheduled to get it done.
A lot of the directors and departments, we always communicate with each other. We talk, and then we also communicate with the county as well. County says, Abraham, I need some help for the XYZ. Hey, let me know when and where. We'll be there. We'll help you out.
Good deal.
So we're here to help. And we help the state as well, and other communities like Dexter, Hagerman.
The synergy. You got to have that. I would imagine, our landfill sees a lot more than just Roswell stuff, because, like everything else, Roswell's the destination place for Southeast New Mexico, including the trash.
Just one more following. Just boat trash, it's a community problem. It's a community issue. We're here to help. If we get your eyes and ears, help us out. Let us know what's going on. Document what you see. Let us know. We'll work with code enforcement. We'll get out there. We'll educate that neighborhood and say, hey, look.
If you do see the illegal dumping, report it.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Let
them clean it up, because it's going to get worse.
You can always follow up on our website. We'll be glad to help you. And then, like I said, we're here to serve. And we really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Anytime. And don't forget, illegal dumping begets more illegal dumping. One bag sits there. That's the keys in the lock, so to speak. You just turning it now, because guess what? Next day there's going to be 2 bags sitting there. That's just how it works.
Then you see a couch.
And then a
You see a
couch.
couch, yeah,
and then,
that's
and then
so
a
true.
doghouse, and then refrigerator,
half of a car.
Yeah, not even the good half.
Yeah, and I understand that sometimes people don't know what else to do, but we've got to actually work because that illegal dumping is a huge thing, and most people don't think about it because if it's not in an area, but it is happening all over.
Absolutely, and to be honest, it's too easy to fix.
Well,
it's a trip to the landfill that's either free. Depending on if you're residential, you show your water bill, it's not going to cost you anything to dump it off.
Yeah, well, and also if there's people who have stuff that they can't afford to dump, call us. We'll figure out. There's programs out there instead of illegally dumping it, but we're going to have the code enforcement. I think that's where we're going to need to start making that a serious focus of this connection where. And we start holding people's feet to the fire on it because you can't.
No one likes that.
Here's the thing that people don't realize: you can actually tell who dumped it, okay, by the information that's in there. So if you think that you can dump it and that it cannot be ever found out, you're wrong. So let's actually call us instead. I'm actually very excited that you brought us, on because I think this is the best way to actually help people understand.
I love it. This is the whole point of the show is to let people live.
Next month I'm wanting to bring the water department on. So
all right,
yeah, I know a whole other discussion.
Again, another pedestal. But another one of those things like you turn on the spigot, they're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if there's no water, you're in trouble.
There is hell to pay.
That's a problem. Well, thank you very much.
Thank
for the
you, Abraham.
opportunity.
Thank you and all of your staff for all the hard work and everything they do, and those silent folks that just keep the city running. We're very appreciative of every single one of those individuals. So thank you. Guys.
Thank you very much. And I relay that to my staff. And like I said, I'm only as good as my staff, and they're amazing.
And break down your boxes.
Break down your box.
Love of God. It's not that hard.
Bag your leaves.
Bag your leaves because they're coming soon.
Yes.
It's green now, but in 1 week they're all going to be on the ground. Not next week, but in 1 week they'll be.
Because keep in mind, the grapple can't pick up leaves; it just falls right through. So you have to put them in a bag.
No, and you can't let them blow to Texas.
No, maybe we could.
Maybe. Thank you, guys.
Thank you
all
so
right.
much. I appreciate it.
It's 7:53. I just pictured all these Texas.
and get your free digital dollar survival kit and learn how you could get up to $1,000 in free silver today. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 to get your free digital dollar survival kit, and you may qualify for $1,000 in free silver. Advantage Gold is the #1 rated gold and silver company in America. Your future is precious. Protect it today when you call Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000 now.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Check with your financial advisor before investing.
That's 800-900-8000.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Check the number, I'll leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Grace and Girls.
I was wondering for a second there. I was like, someone gonna make it? Someone gonna make it? You did. He made it. Good deal.
It's scary on so many levels.
It is. We're a flying hot mess around here. But happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to it. Hope you're having a great Thursday so far. Kind of nice change of pace. Woke up and it was raining. Don't get to see that very often in town, so drink that in. And allegedly, we have a 20% chance for some of the more of this afternoon. Allegedly, you know. But I'm not a math wizard. 80% chance that you won't see the rain. So, as long as we get it all out of the way, like this week and next. So when the fair week hits in 2 weeks, we're not getting all. That's not when they said, "Oh, now it's monsoon season." We don't want that either. So let's get it out of the way now. and then we'll have it good to go for Fair Week. By the way, don't forget tonight, Goddard Rocket fans, your football team will be in action tonight. They travel to Gadsden to take on the Panthers. And yeah, they're going down to Anthony, New Mexico, or wherever that is in Gadsden down there to take on the Panthers. That game will be on our sister station, 106.1 FM Fierro. We will have it for you on the radio there, video at ksvptv.com. But again, that's tonight. We kick off at 7 tonight. Coyotes are back, or will be back in action on a normal Friday night, but because Goddard's on the road, sometimes when you go to Cruces or Albuquerque and some of those city areas, they play Thursday, Friday, Saturday to get all the schools in. And so up there in Gadsden, that area, I'm guessing the stadium's booked for tomorrow night. So tonight, the game will be happening here, and like I said, 106.1 FM Fierro and at ksvptv.com. Let's see. It is 8 minutes after 8 o'clock. We will have the folks from our 5th Judicial District Office join us here. Dennis Kentai, also Gina Yeager, a victims advocate, will join us. So we'll talk a little bit about, obviously what they do, but they've got some events coming up that we want to put on your radar and all that good stuff. And no dogs today. They're at home. They're yeah, but I'm sure they're like curled up, like in someone's like side somewhere, just work is consists of keeping someone's feet warm. But yes, but Gina will join us. We'll talk all about obviously the victim advocacy side, and then got some golf tournaments and things coming up that again, this all supports victims advocates. We'll talk all about with Gina and Dennis here in just a few. Also this hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, your Wall Street business update, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. It is 9 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a look at that weather. See if it's going to be like hot this weekend, though, like 97 on Saturday. So enjoy this today. And then next week, we're back down in the upper 80s, it looks like. So I think it's, because I think Saturday's officially fall. I want to say the 23rd is officially the first day of fall, so we'll be 97. So but it is New Mexico. Do you expect anything different? It's kind of what it is. But here it is officially.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have stationary front nearby and just enough moist air for some showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. We'll be in the low 90s on the high. Maybe a few lingering showers overnight. They'll midnight, mid-60s on the low, and then we heat up for the upcoming weekend. Upper 90s for the afternoon high on Friday and Saturday. Sunshine both days, low 90s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 69 degrees. Still says light rain. I don't think it is, though. Was it raining when y'all came in, or was it just kind of cloudy? Spitting a little bit, so a little bit of maybe have to use your wipers. like Charlie Brown, remember the cloud? Although I wouldn't mind that right now. I was like, yeah, bring that cloud. I'll take it. But there may be a little bit of spitlins out there, but there is a 20% chance for some more showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Mostly sunny eventually. High of 92 with winds out of the north 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with an overnight low of 67. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny, hot, 97 for a high tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 15 miles per hour. So probably dress with light layered clothing if you're going out to Chili Cheese Fest or football or any of that stuff. Friday night, clear with an overnight low of 65 degrees. Winds out of the west 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, another sunny and hot one with a high of 97. Northwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy Saturday night, 64 for an overnight low. 94 and sunny on Sunday. And then looking at next week, 89 for a high on Monday. And then a 20% chance of rain for Tuesday with a high of 89. So we'll see. So, but back teasing 100s again for Friday and Saturday here. Really, one more hurrah before we wrap up the year. All right, it is 12 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a 3.5-minute commercial break, and then we'll talk with the DA's office on the other side of the break. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
A good night's sleep is so important, and issues like sleep apnea make falling asleep and staying asleep nearly impossible, but we can help. I'm Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. With the help of a simple oral appliance, your sleepless nights could be a thing of the past. But don't take my word for it, just ask Lainey.
My name is Lainey Smith. I wasn't surprised when I found out I had sleep apnea simply because I had a horrible sleep pattern. I attempted to use the machine and it drove me nuts and I could not sleep with it. And then that's when Dr. Agar told me about the oral appliance. I would suspect I've been using it for 2 years now. In all of that time, I've had less than 10 poor nights of sleep. It's a complete game changer. I feel a lot better because I sleep.
This simple appliance can change your life. Call us today to set up your appointment so you can finally get the good night's sleep you need.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin and Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin and Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin and Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today and let our fully licensed pest control professionals start working for you and your family. Find us fast in names and numbers. Call 623-5344, serving all of Southeast New Mexico.
Check out some of the bargains you'll find this week at your Farmers Country Markets, like choice beef bottom round roast for $4.49 a pound, baby back pork ribs $2.77 a pound, Craven Flavor skillet dinners $5.48, Banquet Classic dinners 3 for $5, and fresh collard, mustard, and turnip greens for $1.69 a bunch. Don't miss these and many other bargains this week at your Farmers Country Markets. Due to the COVID-19 virus, product availability may be limited.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Our God created everything, Genesis says. Most of us have accepted that as fact, but haven't really thought through how awesome it makes our God. Everything started with Him, nothing before and nothing without Him. Do you want a God that is anything less or less able to do what God did and continues to do? He didn't stop there. He not only created everything, but He took the time to create man and woman in His image, different and more than any other part of His creation. He put Himself into each human. Not only that, but He gave us free will to decide to follow Him, to choose Him as our God. Even though He created us, He wanted to give us a choice to choose Him, to make the right choice, not necessarily the easiest choice or the popular choice, but certainly the best choice. He gives us this choice even though He knows that we're going to mess up, that we're going to use that free will that He gave us to make bad decisions. But then He offers His salvation and forgiveness, ongoing, every day, because we've chosen Him.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from our district attorney's office, I guess you could say here in town. It's all over the counties here, but here in town. Of course, Jeannie Yeager back, our victims advocate specialist here, and also Dennis Kentai back with us as well this morning. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hey, how's life treating you guys?
Good.
Good.
I'm
Steady
dry.
work.
Steady work. Dry at the moment. That's
Dry
a
at
good
the moment.
What? But yeah, unfortunately, you're not going to be put out of work anytime soon, are you? That's going to be one of those things that,
unfortunately,
I would love for them to come to you one day and say, you know what, we don't really have a need for your job anymore. Let's move you to another part of the DA's office.
We would love that also.
But until that's the case, Gina is here to be the voice for the advocates and be that person that and we've talked. I invite you to go back and check out some of our other interviews with any of the the assistant DAs or the DA or lead investigators. But when Gina came on last time, we really focused talking about what her role is with the office and how because the DAs
the district DA, deputy DAs, they're trying to gather evidence and do things like that. And every one of these cases are family, emotional, and a lot of close ties there. And sometimes the cases are between families. Sometimes the victim and the perpetrator are in the same family, and so you've got to. And so Gina's job is the hard task through many different tools is to help try to bring peace, calm, and to help these families so we can do what we need to do, and so the DAs can do what they got to do. But at the same time, we make sure that these victims are getting justice as best that the system allows us to do that. And so that's really, through you're not so much with like the nuts and bolts of trying to solve a case. You're like, how are we dealing with the emotions in the room? How do we how do we de-escalate the situation so we can learn the facts of the case? And that's really kind of where your sweet spot is.
Yes, I mean we do help them during trial, get everybody situated, and we make phone calls, but we are the buffer between the attorneys and the families. And in the court system, when we're working with them, we do try to keep things calm.
Sure.
Answer questions that we can answer, unless an attorney needs to be involved.
Sure. And be really that support for the family.
Yes.
When things get a little, because let's face it, sometimes you can get to cases and gets in the weed and you're like, what's going on? And you're that person that's like, all right, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. This is what, kind of being that little bit of a Sherpa for the family too, as the case goes on.
I've been doing this for a very long time. And I have seen this evolve. Because 40-some years ago, we didn't have advocates for the victims of
These
crimes.
are kind of Gina's the result of lessons learned over the years.
Because it is critical. The victim is also a crucial witness.
Yes.
And sometimes the main difference between conviction and acquittal here on something.
Yes. So the ability to keep those lines of communication open because you're right, the prosecutors and the investigators are focused elsewhere. And we tend to be looking at things and you assume falsely that everything's okay with the victim, who is like I say, often your critical witness.
Sure.
That is not the truth.
Sure.
And so this is where our victim advocates are so incredibly critical.
Absolutely. And I imagine too, in terms of the DAs and stuff that are trying these cases, not that obviously everyone cares and everyone wants to, but they do have to maintain a certain level of not getting emotional to present the case.
We have to remind them every once in a while, hey, you're dealing with a human person.
Yeah.
They're not robotic. They're not mindset like you.
Yeah.
And you need to bring your tone down and come down to their level.
And so you really help with that and be that liaison there and kind of work with them and say, hey, this is what's going on here and things. But at the same time, where the family needs emotion and needs the hugs and needs all that, you're there for it. Where maybe the district attorney or the deputy or whoever's doing that's like, at this moment, my place is to do this. So let me do that, and so I can. They can be more effective at their job when they're not having to deal with the emotional side as much. They can let the fact side go, and so there's that dance or that balance there. That's probably where you come in as an integral role.
Well, and here's where one of the more interesting things is, and we won't mention names or cases, but when we have a plea discussion, that's the key term. There's discussion. Is Gina or her colleagues having that connection with the victim and having that discussion as to whether or not this is a plea that's acceptable. I've watched her, and it's going to be the victim advocate and the attorney. And the thing about it is this: the victim connects with their advocates. They have a relationship that simply doesn't exist with anyone else.
Yeah.
It's funny because I will call them because I've got a subpoena for a preliminary hearing or something like that. Well, who is this strange male? What I've learned is if I've got a subpoena for the victim, I need to talk to Gina or her colleagues first and say, okay, I've got this for so-and-so.
Sure.
You want to let her know that I'm calling because he gets this strange male voice.
Sure.
Or somebody knocking on
a bunch
his
of guys
door.
coming up in suits, and it's intimidating. Yeah. You can
so
see that. Yeah.
But this is that bridge they built.
And I want to say we have 10 advocates that cover Travis, Eddy, and Lee counties for each district office.
You probably need 10 more
us.
of those at least.
I mean, we have a high caseload. I mean, just like our attorneys do. But luckily, we all of the advocates work really good together. We work conflict cases out of each county. So if somebody can't work that, they contact us and we work that.
You
case
guys have
for
a
them.
good support system.
So
for
we
each
just
other,
kind of
too.
rotate
Yeah.
and work together. So it's a really good. The 10 of us advocates, really victim service coordinators, work really good together and have great communication. I mean, that's key.
Well, and this is where, for folks, if you missed our last, one of their big tools for helping calm, the family, especially when you got kids involved, is if y'all know the Casa Dogs. They're pretty famous. The Casa Dogs, they do a great thing, and they're the voice for children in court, and those dogs are there. Well, the DA have their own version of those dogs, and matter of fact, Gina was we have the card set.
Yes.
So and so they have 4 dogs at the moment in the rotation of the family here: Duke, Tina, Kiki, and Beaumont, Bobo the Clown.
Bobo the Clown.
And they're all beautiful dogs. That look like they're all labs at the moment.
They are. They're all labs.
Different colors. 3 blacks and a golden lab looks like there. But these are the dogs that come in and when you see the scary guys in the suits and all that stuff, these dogs are like the kids. Like,
wait. What are you looking at me when you said the scary guy?
Wow. You're the closest in the suit. I'm in t-shirts and shorts. So.
Christmas.
You're the
Cut
fall
me
guy on
some
this
slack.
one. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
But so those dogs are that icebreaker. Those are the ones that and especially now, say it's a family thing and there's something and the mom's upset trying to tell the story because her kids are there and now the kids are playing with the dogs and everybody's happy and now it creates an environment where, okay, maybe we can calm down, let's de-escalate, let's see if we can try to make some sense out of this and go on from there from it. And that's a vital tool. But, I mean, that's just one tool. There's so many other tools and things. But
And I think the key thing, too, and we're going to lead into this, is that this is not supported with a line item from the state.
Yeah, there isn't a legislature that's shelling out funding for this stuff.
So,
it's all,
on that note,
it's all done by you and your staff and volunteers and the general public's
foundation
donations in the foundation. That's how this happens.
So our 5013C is a standalone foundation. We're not with any group. We stand alone. We do lease our dogs to the DA's office every year for $25 each dog.
Gotcha.
But the foundation does fundraisers throughout the year to fund not only the dogs, any kind of bill that comes up, toys, training, travel. That Miss Luce,
they're all over
Luce,
there's 4 dogs in 3 counties. They're all over the place.
Well, we also go throughout the state.
So it's more than just our 3 counties.
And we have actually gone to Texas to work as well.
Wow. So how's their frequent flyer points? They built
We
up
don't
some miles
fly.
yet?
We drive, but we have, luckily, Miss Luce has, our DA of Travis, Eddy, and Lee the 5th, has allowed our dogs to work with other DA's offices throughout the state.
Well,
we
it's
do
the
crisis.
example.
Yeah, we do crisis response. So if something happens at a school, we go out and we're at that school.
And just to be curious, is the 5th the only district doing this in the state right now, or is it starting to change where you're seeing more of that coming in?
A lot of districts, well, I won't say a lot. There's been a few districts that have had dogs, but the state, without the funding,
They couldn't support it.
they couldn't support the program, so their program hasn't. We're on our 2nd generation. I'm actually working on my 3rd dog, so
Okay.
we're going to have a 3rd generation go. But
Okay.
that's because
I love that part.
we
Keep going.
have a nonprofit that funds these dogs. Because if you don't have the funding, because this is not a cheap.
Well, yeah, it's the training alone's probably very expensive, and then raising a dog is like raising a kid, except you don't send them to college afterwards. It's like expensive.
Well, the cost for a new dog is gone up. It's doubled since the last time I got a dog.
Yeah.
So the cost for a dog is $13,000.
And I'm thinking that's lowballing it. I bet it's probably
That's
in reality.
just our cost. I
Yeah.
mean, the dogs are $30,000 to $50,000
Oh, wow, okay.
because it's 2 years of training and
Gotcha.
all of that.
So you get a
But
discount
we get a
or-
discount
Yeah.
because there's people with the agency that we use, Assistance Dogs of the West in Santa Fe, that donate to help get these dogs out.
Okay.
There's funding, but our cost for the dog, just the dog, it's up to $13,000. Wow. And that doesn't include.
And that's just for the dog.
That's
not the
just for the
vet
dog.
bills, upkeep, raising of this said animal.
And luckily, with the foundation, we've have some great partners throughout each counties. We have veterinarians that donate. We have dog food that's donated. We have all kinds of things that
the
people.
Toys and
Well, people. Yeah. We usually pay for that, but we have a lot of people that will give us stuff. Yeah. So. But we do have fundraisers that we put on every year to fund these dogs and their adventures throughout the.
And that's where you, the public, can help us.
Yes.
This is where, God forbid, you never need the services of these animals. We hope you never do. But if you do, it sure is nice that they're there to help you get through what you're going through. But it really, this is the kind of work that defines success and failure in a lot of these cases. These are the ancillary details, the minute things that we all need to do to make sure that we find the success here. We can have the case, but when you're servicing the family and helping them and trying to give them closure and resolution here, these are vital tools to help that happen. And sure, especially when you're dealing with cases at some of the tragic levels we're dealing with here, it's really hard to find peace at the end of some of these. But at least we can have closure. We can at least, get it and provide a platform for these families to try to heal. And these dogs do that. And that's what it's so vital.
Now, I would argue that even if you're not directly involved, if you live in one of these three counties, the criminal justice system and how well it functions has a direct impact on the quality of your life.
Absolutely.
And this is one of these underappreciated, underrecognized attributes of this district attorney's office. This is a very complex operation, and much of it is not seen. Everything from serving subpoenas, which is one of the things that myself and Hector do, to doing follow-up investigation. But I keep coming back to this. Your most critical witness usually is going to be the victim, and keeping the victim in a situation will ensure that justice is done.
Sure.
Let's take the very simple thing of domestic violence. It's not simple, but if it is not dealt with, it escalates.
Absolutely.
And we've seen it. We all have the nightmare stories about this was a physical abuse that ended up in a murder.
And unfortunately, I talk with the refuge and the folks that deal with domestic violence, the aftermath of domestic violence, and the evidence, it's cycle. It's odds are if you're abused, you were probably going to be abused. That's the way. And so you guys deal with that at that level. And so I'm guessing, depending on some of your more senior folks in there, they probably see generations of this where it's like maybe it was the kids, but now the kid is now the offender in some other. But obviously some of the new folks who maybe have spent some time in the DA are probably seen generations of some of this domestic violence. It's like, oh, now it's the son, or now it's the daughter, or now it's the and that's why they try to break it. But in the meantime, this is where you guys are trying to put these pieces together, and when these families are, like you said, the witness is a lot of times the best person to be the witness or the one that's going to get this person convicted. But when it's family related or, close, there's a lot of intimidating factors that the DA's office combats. When you got a family member in the victim's ear saying one thing and then you tell them you've got to do this, but, that they don't feel safe. They don't feel comfortable in coming forward because this is commonplace that happens probably in every single day in cases every single day that come through your docket. It's just the way it is.
Well, they don't trust anybody, so you've got to earn that trust. And when they're ready, they're ready. And if they're not ready, we just let them know we're here.
Absolutely.
When you are ready and you do need us, just know we are here.
Sure.
So,
but and that's where the dogs and everything. It's not because, quite frankly, I'm guessing that victim's probably getting it from both sides. Like you have maybe the accusers and abusers that are in their ear, but then you probably got other family members like, don't let this fool go, and you know what I mean. And so you're already in that war with the family.
Right.
So the last thing you want is a district attorney's office also turning the screws on you. you guys obviously want them to prosecute because this is what, this is how justice is served. But at the same time, you don't want to force justice on people that aren't really looking for it either, too.
If they're not ready, they're not ready, and you can't force that on somebody. You just need to be aware of their circumstances and let them know that you are a sounding board and you are there to help make it better.
Yeah.
The different options we have, we don't always jail time. We want to get family help, so this stops here. So that's one of the things a lot of people, when they come in, they're like, oh, you're going to throw them in jail. And it's like, no, we don't. It's not always jail.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, jail is for some people, but if we can get you and your family some help,
sure,
let us do that.
Yeah.
And the word is getting out more and more that that's what we're about, is getting family help and getting them to the right places. So that's helped us in a lot of ways with some of these people. But
when you're starting to see like programs for the accusers now, programs, because like I said earlier, it's a cycle. It is. Odds are the people that were abusing were probably abused themselves, and this is why it's a problem, and we need to address it that way. And this is why we tell the victims so much. It's like, it's so important for you to not remain quiet on this. You've got to stand up, and I get you're fearing or you don't want someone to get hurt, but at the end of the day, if you don't do this, someone will get hurt, and it's going to be you. Yes. It may not be tomorrow, it may be next week, or maybe 2 years from now, but at some point, every single domestic violence situation that's unchecked or unfeathered or unattended to is 9 times out of 10 is going to end up someone dying. It's just the way it is.
I think the key thing that we have to always appreciate is their title, advocate. This woman and her colleagues are advocates for the people who have suffered at the hands of a criminal act.
Yeah.
And that is, like I said, something we never had 40 years ago, but now we have it. And they had the tools, coming back to the dogs, is one of the tools for them to build that trust. And that is huge, because you're right.
To put the human side to the DA's office. That's exactly what it is.
We don't always, it's not always court that we work in. We go to the schools. Like I said, we've been all over the state. We've been to Dexter. We've been to Clovis. We've been to Las Vegas. We've been to Alamogordo. I'm trying to remember all the spots we've been to. We've been, and I'm going to throw this out there, and I don't want to, but Diana let us go and help with several. We went to El Paso for the sentencing for the federal on Walmart.
Good deal. Well, see, we're hoping the more appearances you guys have, the more people see the value of the program and adopt it in their community.
Yes,
that's what we're wanting to see.
And the people that we worked with, it was just Beaumont and I in El Paso, so there was a lot. There was a lot of people at that Walmart, and there was a lot of people, and they're like, how do I get this program in my area? And the DOJ, US DOJ, was like they're looking for something like this now, because it's like, this was very beneficial.
Sure.
We've been called out to different crisis response, Uvalde.
You're seeing all the, oh wow, so you're in some of the
nonprofit allowed me and Beaumont to travel. They paid for all of that. Diana Luce, our DA, allowed us to go and let them borrow us.
Let them foundation do what they do.
We worked with the feds and the DOJ,
That's cool.
But that was her call. She let us go. Now, the foundation paid for all of our travel expenses, the hotel, the gas, my food, Beaumont's,
not
whatever.
Not coming out
Beaumont.
of the DA's pocket or any of that.
None
It's
of
all
that.
strictly through foundation.
Just my salary, because she let me go. But without that foundation, I don't know if we would have been able to help as many people as we've been able to help.
So now we're going to ask you to whack some golf balls around.
Yes.
And have fun on a weekend.
What whack? So you've seen me play golf.
Yeah, you can play.
You have that.
Play as poorly as you want.
It's kind of like a random thing, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But so we're asking you they're gonna be and we'll give you the pertinence here in just a second. But yeah, we got a golf tournament coming up, and again, the money's being raised is going back to the advocacy side to help with the dogs, to help cover the costs
that we
community. Yeah, all this money goes right back to helping victims. The money doesn't go to pay salaries of DAs or any of that stuff.
There is nobody getting paid through the foundation.
It's strictly
just
through the
dogs.
foundation stuff. Yeah, the dogs, so we can make sure these dogs, or more of them available, and more advocates available to, because I'm thinking once, the resource is here, then they're going to say, well, we need more advocates in there, and so so maybe the legislature are going to have to finally you sit down and pony up money for good things.
We're
instead of
hoping. We
roads
keep
to
hoping.
nowhere.
And we're hoping that we can get a New Mexico law that allows we can do something. But
I've always been the thing. It's like right now, every single state in the country should be spending money like crazy on mental health and our judicial and criminal justice system. We need more law enforcement. We need more judges and lawyers in the system. And well, maybe not the lawyers. We have plenty of them. But we need more judges.
we need more prosecutors.
Well, prosecutors.
We could use more prosecutors. And here's, now, you're going to say, what? We need more defense attorneys. The Public Defender's Office, God bless them, you need competent defense attorneys for the system to work rightly.
Yeah. Well,
and somebody who's there. They're an advocate for the accused.
Yeah.
And it sounds weird, but for the system to work well, it needs to be staffed on both sides.
Absolutely.
And
well, let's face it. There are times where prosecuting offices mess things up, and you need a defense.
We never do.
I'm not saying here. I'm saying in other states. but there's times where things but that's where the checks and the balances come in. That's the whole point of it. That's why every side is represented. So and the truth will come out, but it's to prevent from one side taking advantage over the other, and you want that on both sides because guess what? If you're defending your name against something, you're going to want all those protections on your side, especially if you didn't do it. If you did do it, then we got to talk.
They all did it.
But yeah, they're all.
They're all.
You know what I mean? If you're
come on, let's do it.
and conversely, if you're a victim, you're going to want to make sure that the people that are prosecuting the people that did something to you have every single tool in their belt to do that.
Yes.
And this is what this is about. So, what now? When is the actual date for the golf tournament and everything?
Okay, so we have 3 events coming up.
Okay.
So we're gonna be busy.
So 3 things. So you're bound to at least be free on one of them.
Yeah, you guys should be able to come see me for at least one. So the Fall Day Arts and Crafts Show that's happening this coming weekend.
Okay.
They have chosen our foundation as their nonprofit for the silent auction items.
Oh, nice.
So the 58 Dogs Foundation gets all the proceeds.
So bid generously on those silent auction items.
So you guys come see us Saturday and Sunday for that.
And where is that?
That's going to be at the convention center.
Nice.
And the times on that?
That's going to be Saturday from 10 to 5, and Sunday will be 11 to 4.
Are you going to be there with any of the dogs at any point?
The
of the
dogs
event?
will be there for a couple of hours.
Okay.
Only because we make sure they get enough rest to work during the week.
They do
we
have
want to
other
make sure
day jobs.
They do have
they
another job.
They
yeah.
Gotta, they live well. Don't worry. These dogs
do.
How many of them do they live with you, or do you
have Beaumont lives with me.
Okay, so Beaumont's yours, and then the other 3 go to other.
Kiki lives in Roswell. Kiki lives with one of the other handlers and advocates, and then Travis and Lee and Eddie each have a handler for their dogs. So.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah.
So you've got each person has like the one mommy or daddy that kind of
until they get to the office, and then they have several moms.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know that part.
But. We have a total of 4 dogs and 15 handlers for our dogs.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of us that can pick up the leash and help out where needed. Yeah.
Someone has a
so there's
wants
lots
to go on
of
vacation
us.
or something.
Yeah.
That
there's
does
lots
happen
of
every
us.
once in a while.
And then we have the fair.
Yes, that's coming up here in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we have the fair. We have our booth.
Excellent.
We've been doing our booth for a couple of years now. That's our community outreach. We want to let people know that we're here and what we're doing.
So you can learn more. And so if you have questions that maybe we didn't answer here, please visit the booth at the fair.
Yes.
Come by. I'm sure there'll be dogs from time to time.
There'll be dogs on the Saturday.
Okay, on Saturday.
Yes, because they work during the
Saturday.
week. So they'll be there Saturday. There'll be a dog every 2 hours or something. There'll be a different dog. We will have a couple of raffles going on. We will have drinks for sale.
Nice.
Just fundraising. Of course, if you just want to make a donation, we will gladly
Absolutely.
take it.
Every little bit goes back to this program to help the victims and so please, if you got $5, $10, $100, $1,000 to drop off at the booth, that'd be great.
We'll have handouts that'll explain our program. We'll have that at each event.
Good deal.
But yeah, just come see us. Come ask questions. I love talking about the dogs. I love the program.
So don't spend all your money at the craft fair on Saturday this weekend either. Save a few bucks to drop on over at the.
Well, you got to have money to go to the fair.
The
Come on,
fair, yes.
You got to have you got to go and you got to buy the band so the kids can go for 10,000
Do us a favor.
rides.
If you go on Saturday, visit the dog booth empty-handed. Don't come up with the big old corn dog or nothing. That's just wrong.
Yeah, the dogs may decide they like your corn dog more than you do.
I was more thinking the turkey leg.
Yeah, I was saying, just don't roll up doing that. Don't be dirty like that. Get your corn dog and then go visit the dog.
And then our final event for October, so end of September, October is going to be really, really busy for fundraising. We have decided to do a golf tournament. Yes. Our first time. Excited. And that's going to be October 28th.
Okay, so right before the Halloween week.
Yes, and it's going to be at Nimmy's Golf Course.
Okay.
They have registration forms there.
Okay. Yeah, usually with that, you can probably sign up at the pro shop there.
Correct.
And because usually the pro kind of, if you have a team, I'm assuming you can sign up as a team, but if individually, don't have enough friends that want to golf with you, you can go and put that together, and he'll put you on a team.
Yes. So it's a 3-man team. It's going to be a
3-person.
3-person team. It's $100 per person or $300 per team.
Okay.
We're going to have breakfast and lunch provided. We'll have drinks. We'll have drawings and raffles. I am not a golf person, so we have a Scotty Cameron putter.
Okay.
To raffle off.
Nice.
So a lot of people know who that is. I do not.
I'm a little in the weeds myself
but
on it.
I'm getting information from other golfers that are like, do this.
Well,
right.
You must be pretty good if you get a
Jonathan. You ran by Jonathan?
Yes, I did. And then one of our other people's husband golfs, so he's like helping me out a lot.
There you go. Ooh, get this one.
And it's a shotgun start at 9 a.m.
And by the way, if you've never gone to any golf tournaments or anything, if you leave hungry, that's your own dang fault. Because there is usually a ton of food. And like you said, they're doing meals and breakfast, the door prize. I'm telling you, you could be an awful golfer and walk away cleaning up because you hit
and that's
usually
have
what happens.
Fun.
Yeah,
you really do. I mean, these tournaments are really meant to be a fun type of thing.
You're not signed up for the PGA here.
So I'm cleaning the cobwebs off of my golf clubs, and I'm really nervously considering this. I just got to figure out who would be stupid enough to ride along with me on my other team members.
Well, there you go.
We're kind of up in the air.
Well, I mean, maybe. Well, depends.
I couldn't try and drag my daughter out. She played golf for Goddard High, Becky Robertson, a long time ago.
So she might make you look bad. We can't have that.
The wall here will make me look bad. All right, let's just be honest, right up front.
Just walks up.
There's no doubt about that one.
You know what you should do? Go out on the course, pull a club out of the bag, and just hold it upside down like you're about to just act like you're doing it, just to see if people say anything.
We need to get a picture of that thing posted on the Facebook page for the dogs.
I love golfing.
A professional golfer at his best.
I love golf. He pulls out the club and then he holds it upside down to try to hit it with the narrow end.
Yeah, okay. You're killing me.
We're really hoping that people will come out. I mean, we're still looking for sponsors for this event. We've got some.
So please reach out.
Yes, we've got some prizes.
So I guess like T-Box sponsorships or just title sponsors.
The title sponsors. We have whole sponsors we still need. We need gift cards for door prizes.
So if you'd like to help out that way, October is coming right quick here.
It's about 5 weeks away.
Yeah, we're just a hair over a month away here. So please, and again, all the proceeds from this tournament go back for the victim advocacy side of the DA's office, helping families, helping support the dogs, and support all the work that each of these advocates do in all corners of the district here.
Yeah.
So come out, whack a golf ball around, and if you can't make golf, great. Come see the booth at the fair or come out to the craft fair this weekend at the convention center and bid generously on those silent auction items because every penny of that's going back to these advocacy program and the dogs and all that stuff. So
yeah.
And we're really grateful for everybody that's helped support us since 2000. I think the foundation's been 2017.
Let me ask this too: if there's people that want to volunteer with the foundation and get involved, is there a person or someone they need to talk? You need to talk to Gina.
Come on.
I didn't know if there was another person that handled membership.
Gina. No, it's Gina.
But if you're interested in being a part of the foundation, wanting to get more, and maybe helping other communities in our state also have these same things that our district gets to enjoy right now, please reach out to Gina. You probably reach out to the DA's office on Facebook, and if you can't hit Gina directly or call, and they'll put you in touch with Gina.
And I know a lot of people think we're associated with the other dogs.
Mm-hmm.
We're not.
No.
Yeah.
We're not.
There's two complete separate things.
Entities, and people,
both do great work, both do things, but they're not associated with each other.
They're not associated with each other.
One is strictly for the victims in court and helping with that. You're dealing with more outside of that stuff.
Yes.
I mean, it gets involved with the court stuff, too.
No, I mean, we do the courtroom with the criminal side of it.
And they do mostly deal with children, right?
Yes.
Yours is adults, children, whoever the victim is.
So if it becomes, if that becomes a criminal case, then we get it and we take over. But we also do with adults as well.
Gotcha.
So
yours is a little broader.
Yes.
Broader scope than what CASA is. Both are equally important, and both are vital services.
Yes, they are.
And the folks at CASA do amazing things, and the volunteers that volunteer their time to be the voice of these children in court are amazing people, and support them with every penny and ounce that you can. But also support the victims here with through the DA's office, because they're doing just as good a work, but their scope's a little bit broader than what the CASA folks do.
And our funding is nothing. I mean,
and your funding is literally whatever people can donate or anything. There is no government grants or any of that stuff out there that is in play for here. So should be. We shouldn't be grants. There should be a legislature that funds this.
I mean,
stuff,
and we've gotten a couple grants. So I mean, we've been really lucky. But I'm learning to be a grant writer. I am not a grant writer. So if anybody out there knows how to write grants, let me know.
It's a whole skill set to be a grant writer.
And I'm learning. But all the volunteers are so excited about these events that are coming up, and we have some great volunteers on our foundation, and we want to continue to get these dogs where they need to be with people.
This is how you can get involved to help make your place better.
Yeah.
That's right.
You hear things and you complain. You see everything on Facebook. It's like, it's all sad. It's like, I agree. It is all those things. But here's the one thing you can do that actually makes an impact on helping to fix those things, by getting involved in stuff like this. So please support.
We just want to let the people know that these dogs are here for the community, whether it be in a classroom, whether it be at a hospital. I mean, we visited the hospitals for the Nurses Week.
Sure.
We just want to let everybody know that the DA's office is here for them.
Well, that's another thing too.
Note.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too is, because, police, district attorneys, that whole side of things, there's a certain, generally speaking, people don't want to deal with you unless there's a problem. Right. And so, so this shows it's like, hey, no, these are human beings that have life, and let's face it, they are here for you. They are here. Every person that wears a badge, every district attorney, and every person that works in that district attorney's office are in that office because they want the best for you, the citizen.
Yeah,
and
we
they
care
want
about
to
our
make
community.
Sure. Yeah, and that's what it is.
And I think a little pause here is that this demonstrates really enhanced leadership our district attorney Diana Luce offers. I mean, this is we kind of glossed over it. This is a sustained.
It's like thinking out of the box a little bit.
Yeah, but this program, although others have tried it, the DA Diana Luce has been able to maintain this by building.
She's committed to supporting it,
building the team that can carry this forward.
Yeah,
and I'm going to brag on the boss a little bit. She is a courtroom prosecutor, and it's not for me to criticize, but I'm thinking, boss, you're in the courtroom a heck of a lot, and she just got done last week, right, down in Carlsbad.
Had 2 trials every week for 2 weeks. She's had a trial.
I imagine when for people like her that when they do it, they didn't sign up to be a lawyer, to be an administrator. You know what I mean? They signed up to be a lawyer. Now, obviously, she's a great at and does it, but at the end of the day, she's like, I can do the best work in the courtroom sometimes.
Well,
she
does both. I mean, she inspires a lot of the young, because she's been doing this longer than anybody else in this district.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. She started here, 90,
there is a reason why she's
91, 93, somewhere in there.
Best qualified.
Right.
She started here. She's told us this story. And she took a break to be a magistrate for a while. But this case in Carlsbad, first-degree child abuse resulting in death.
Yeah,
that was a nasty case. She's the one who had the baby in Hobbs that was thrown in the dumpster. Another nasty case.
Which we're seeing a lot of weird stuff like this in the last year here in our district, in Hobbs and Artesia. We're seeing this stuff going on. It's crazy right now.
And she's the one who will step up and take on these challenging, difficult, ugly cases. She carries a huge burden, and I think we're impressed, and we're fortunate to have her for a boss.
And she'll listen to things that we're like, hey, we have this crazy idea that might help our office. How about if we try this? Well, let's try it. If it works for the community and it works for our office, then, but she's open to suggestions on what we can do to be better people for our community.
Well, and I, this is a bigger issue thing. When we talk about our system, our judicial system and all that, we talk about the overworking, the caseloads and all that. And I really think what she's doing, and this is the right approach and the good thing is look, we've been doing a certain way this way for so many years. How is that working out for us right now?
Right.
Yeah. What do we need to do to change this to make it better? And so she's of that mindset, as all of our district attorneys should be, is how do we get better? And how do we do that as opposed to this is the way we do it, it must be done this way. And
so I have this really silly example. So in our lobby, if you're ever in our office, we have paw prints. So at the fair, we sell colored paw prints for $1. So when we get done with those, we line our hallways. Before that, when you walked into our office, it looked like the old shell. It was blank walls, but when you walk in, there's kids that have colored pictures, the paw print, so there's this bright colors, cheerful. And she approved that. She was like, yeah, go ahead. Let's line these halls. Let's make this where it's more
inviting
welcoming.
And warm and then feel clinical.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things. It's just little things that we're doing.
Well, that makes a huge difference.
It does.
I mean, you think about it. I mean, your world, like your home, that's why people decorate because it makes you a happy place. Guess what? You walk into a place with pictures and artwork and something that looks inviting and comfortable, you're going to be a little less on edge than when you're walking into all the walls are white, all the floor is white.
On the wall.
Yeah, fluorescent lighting everywhere you look. Yeah, it does mess with psyche a little bit.
So it's just little things that turn into really big positive things that she is open to. Any suggestions?
Take the intimidation factor out of it a little bit. Make it more of a place that you need and want to be because it's serving a certain role that needs to be done. Yes. Not something you have to do like a proctology exam.
No,
one's,
I'm of that age. So let's be careful here.
Oh, trust me. I've had all kinds of rotor-rooter action going on the last couple of years.
Oh, my God. Back to the dogs.
Back to the dogs. Back to the dogs.
No, but they have, when people come in, of course, you don't know what you're walking into when they through the DA's office.
Yeah.
But when you have a wiggly, waggly tail wandering around the office to meet you when you walk down the stairs, it makes it a little better.
It unarms the angry, and it kind of softens the nervous. It really does that. It just okay. It's because especially if people are worked up, and again, we're dealing with victims. They're probably already in an emotional frailty as is because they've gone through a lot of stuff in that recent time.
Well, and me working at the DA's office, I've been with the DA since 2013.
Okay.
We got the dog program started in 2014. So I can't imagine not having a dog. And a lot of the people that we have now have never worked in our office without a dog there.
And you're kind of like, well, how'd you guys do it?
So there's only 3 of us that were there prior to dogs coming in. So
really?
Yeah. So everybody's used to having the dogs there. So it's kind of like, okay, it's wiggle waggle. Where are they?
Well, the thing is, it's like, look how far we've come in that amount of time.
Yes.
We're not there yet.
No.
But we're certainly going in the right direction.
Yeah.
So by you coming and golfing and supporting, this is going to continue for this program to grow. And ideally, instead of it becoming some novel thing, it turns into the standard. That's, every DA's office has a half dozen of these dogs. That's what we want to have.
When we go back over the events that are coming up and repeat them.
Let's do a quick recap on that before we go. We're about to get kicked off the radio.
Okay, Fall Day Arts and Crafts shows this weekend. Come to the Civic Center. And
from times?
From Saturday is 10 to 5. Sunday is 10 to 4. So.
Okay.
And then
come hungry, come ready to shop.
They're going to have food trucks. for that. And then the fair, of course, is the week of
2nd through the 7th of October.
October. We will have a booth. We will be on the east wall.
In the commercial building?
In the commercial building, halfway down. So come see us. Come buy drinks. Come buy raffles.
And if you want to meet the dogs, Saturday of the fair.
Saturday, the dogs will be there. We'll have their cards, of course, to hand out, armbands, pencils, all that fun
Already
stuff.
got the whole set. So
You got the set. So you still have to come by and see us if you're out there.
You know,
and then,
if these get real rare, I will hold on to these unless someone gives me like millions of dollars, and I'm selling them. But
and you'll share that with
we'll
the
share, with the foundation.
I will
right?
help the foundation.
That will work.
All right.
And then the last event that we have in October will be, of course, the 28th of October, the golf tournament, starting at 9 with a shotgun start. Late registration will be from 7:30 till that time.
Very good. So get involved. Sign up now. Like I say, go to the pro shop. Please reach out to Gina if you'd like to be a sponsor for that event. They're looking for all across the board on sponsorship there. And you come up with $1 million check, we'll call it your business golf tournament. We don't care.
There's a thought.
You can name whatever you want.
Here we are.
The Billy Bob Joe golf tournament. Well, that's what it is now. If you want to do that, but because you deserve it, because you're helping. And again, every dime that raised from these events goes back to this victim advocacy program, goes to the foundation to not only help the dogs and more of it for here in our own district, but to allow every New Mexican with the opportunity to have the same thing. So that's what the goal is. So, well, thank you guys. Appreciate everything what you do. Don't try not to work too hard. Take some downtime somewhere at some point. You know, at least she has the dog when she gets home.
Yeah, by the end of the day, he's like, okay, let's just cuddle. I'm like, okay, we can do that.
Someone's like, it's a little long day, wasn't it, Jim? So, but thank you guys. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Okay. All right, 8:58. Let's take a quick break before I am no longer on the radio. Don't go away.
A night of music that'll bring you joy. Compassion presents We Are Messengers, Where the Joy Is Tour. With special guest Cochran and Company. And Ben Fuller. Sunday, October 15th in Carlsbad at Walter Gerald's Performing Arts Center. We Are Messengers, Where the Joy Is Tour with Cochran and Company and Ben Fuller. Tickets are available now at wearemessengersmusic.com.
Attention Roswell, Carlsbad, Artesia, and surrounding areas. Roswell Tire and Appliance has what you're looking for with a great selection of refrigerators, freezers, washers and dryers, and ranges, and they can prepare your appliance as well with many in stock and on sale. You can own it today. RTA services after the sale with repair, warranty, and delivery to Roswell and surrounding areas. Save big on a selection of scratch and dent appliances too, plus a great selection of tires and a team of people to help you when you need it most. Roswell Tire and Appliance, 101 South Main in downtown Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits or the astronauts? Here's Mike Winters. Roswell's home for talk radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.